sports fans, and welcome to another edition of NDB Media's Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks on Saturday. As you know, we are live and no one is safe while we troll the digital airwaves. Join us as we discuss the latest news in the world of sports and review the events of the past week. No fantasy sports here. We keep it real. And as such, we kill brain cells. And because of that, we just might be the purveyors? No, we are the purveyors of the zombie apocalypse. You have been warned. We are repetitive, are the internet's ongoing traffic wreck, and of course, we carry more water for sports than Depends does. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Scorekeeper, and this is Sports Talk with the Guys. Thank you for joining us this early in the morning. And we already have people watching us. Let us know who you are and where you hail from. Yes, my voice is almost 100% back, and I am absolutely thrilled. Hopefully my co-host will be able to join us shortly. Our thoughts are with the big dog as he works through his issues that he's working through, and we hope he returns to us real soon. Oh my goodness, that's good. It's a house blend from a local warehouse here in Southern California. I don't know what their reach is, but they are over in Pomona. They're about a mile away. Smart and Final. They may be on the East Coast. So that is really cool. Before I lose my train of thought on that one, which I think I already did. A football coach walked into the locker room before a game, looked over to a star player and said, I'm not supposed to let you play since you failed math, but we need you in there. So I have to ask. It's a math question. All right? And if you get it right, you can play. Of course, the player agreed. Okay, now concentrate. What is 2 plus 2? The player thought for a moment, and then he answered, 4. Did you say 4? The coach exclaimed, excited that he got it right. After that, all the other players on the team began screaming, Come on, coach! Come on, coach! Give him another chance! I'm sorry. Hey, we'll do. Oh, hey, did you hear that? Did you hear the beep? That's Siri. Little lazy. Oh my goodness, she was getting involved. Thank you. Good morning, Tony. I hope you are doing well. Aisha, good morning. I hope your mom is doing well, Aisha. Thank you for taking the time to visit with us. And yes. Thank you, Tony. I think we've been on teams and we've seen something like that. So it hits home, folks. It is 57 degrees. We're getting a little bit of wah-wah out here in Los Angeles, and it is nice. It is cloudy. There was an atmospheric event that took place yesterday. So, yes, there is moisture on the ground, so that is a good thing, and I'm real happy about that. There is... Oh, don't you hate it when people do those audible pauses? I struggle with those, and whenever I identify them, I try to... Oh, I was going to do one right now. I try to avoid them, so it's really good. I am working on it. I ask you to bear with me. And we're already getting a little bit of love. Tony, thank you. Aisha, thank you. And as I say, we have quite a few people watching us both on our sports page and our NDB Media page. Of course, you can find us here on Twitter, Twitch. Twitter's the fake one, so we're on there. And, of course, we're on Facebook and other stuff. But there's a moment of revelation right now. Whenever I elongate my words, I am endeavoring to get through the stutter. So for those that know and don't know, I do stutter a great deal. But, okay, this is the evil one. I had a coworker. His name was Randy. God bless his soul. He did pass away. He lived a difficult life, and he stuttered, and it was a very difficult stutter. And me, who secretly stuttered, people did not know, I would get impatient with him. Not because he stuttered, but because of the way he did things. So one time, we were in a meeting and we were trying to come up with ways of saving money, increasing efficiency. Yes, working for the government, okay? But we actually did have a meeting like that. And we were discussing communication, no less, like we're doing here right now. And someone was suggesting an idea of how to improve communication. Roger? I suggest that we have Randy use the PA to read his dialogue. I was escorted out of the office or out of the meeting. Actually, I wasn't escorted. That's stupid. I was told to get out. Just get out. For those of you that knew Randy, he stuttered a great deal. But when he would sing, he didn't stutter. And when he used the PA system, he was flawless. So instead of waiting 18 minutes for him to answer yes or no, I thought it would be much better for time saving and convenience that he used the PA. So, there it is. See, that wasn't audible, but the stutter, that was mean to me. It was damn mean. But I did it. So I apologize. Randy was a good guy. He did suffer a great deal. He did pass away early on. But anyway, Aisha says she'll be out and out today. She has a Japanese dish that she wants to cook. Japanese katsu chicken rice. Wow. Hopefully you don't miss very much. But this is Sports Talk with the Guys, so I don't know. But right now it is 57 degrees. It's going to be 55 overnight. Wow. So that's interesting. Right now, of course, it's 87% humidity, 29.87 inches. Visibility is 10 miles. It's cloudy, but it's 10 miles. Whatever. The wind is heading to the east. Yeah, you see, I'm spatially oriented. I'm looking to the west. So if I use on the fifth day, look to the east for my coming. It was the Lord of the Rings. 2 towers. That's east. Aisha is that way, over by D.O. up there. And then Tony is roughly at that orientation where I have a calendar on the wall. Oh, yeah, you can see it. The white calendar, the black and blue and that one, with that little green picture that my daughter drew. There's the picture right there. Yeah, it's show and tell day. The wind is heading to the east at 5 miles an hour. The dew point is at 53 degrees. The UV index is 0 to 10. And the moon phase is a waning gibbous. So I hope everyone saw the blood moon or the harvest moon. It was the red blood moon. So that was really cool. Let's take a quick look in history. What happened today, if anything, in sports? I know there's quite a bit. But I like to check out both the history.com as well as the regular, and there's nothing at history.com. I already told a joke, so you have to suffer with that. I might try another joke in a little bit, but here we go. Back in 1819, the first bicycles, or swift walkers, are introduced in New York City. In 1906, Keith Rigg, an Australian cricketer, a test batsman in the 30s. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. And in 1999, NFL legend Deion Sanders weds Pillar Biggers in Paradise Island. I don't know why I did that one, but whatever. Yeah, I think I should have done a few others, but that's okay. I think we had the Preakness this weekend. So back in, oh my goodness, it's going all over the place. On this day in 1878, the 4th Kentucky Derby, Jimmy Carter aboard Daystar wins in 2:37.25. In 1886, the 14th Preakness, S. Fisher aboard Bard wins in 2:45. Really kind of cool. Back in 1930, Yankee slugger Babe Ruth hits 3 homers as New York blows a 6-0 lead in the 4th against the Philadelphia A's at Scheid Park. Go on to lose 15-7. Wow. That's not something I wanted to talk about. Back in 1979, the Stanley Cup Final, Montreal Forum, Montreal, Quebec. 4 consecutive titles for the Montreal Canadiens. They beat the New York Rangers 4-1 for a 4-1 series lead. And Aisha has a question. How's the drought affecting you? I've seen pictures and wondered if you're having problems. Well, since we're so far away from the Colorado, we have been warned that the water levels are very low. We had a wet winter, December and January, which made us get up to like 100 and some percent of the snowpack, which is where we get most of our water from. Which, by the way, Alaska in Anchorage, they get all their water from the not the fjords, but the glaciers. Did I talk about that? Yeah, I'm sure I did. But we have been ordered to reduce our water usage. We have the Metropolitan Water District, which administers water here in Southern California. Wrong guy to ask. The Metropolitan Water District has issued cuts to all of the agencies that supply us with water. And I believe we are ordered to reduce watering to 3 minutes a day, twice a week. If there's water flowing down in the gutters along the rain gutters along the roadway, we can and will be fined. If our water does, this is in certain cities, not where I'm out here. We're an old city, Pomona. I think we were incorporated in 1883, if I remember correctly. I remember the old city I lived in, Commerce. They were incorporated on January 28th, 1960. Wrong guy to ask. So, yes, it is affecting us who are paying attention, but we are having a problem in California that water use has jumped ever since we were warned about 2 months ago, and now there was a blip where we had dropped. It was requested for us by the governor to drop to 15% water usage. I think we dropped 3%. And now we're like at 21% above. So I think people have had it in some ways, or they're really just not paying attention yet. They're just getting out of COVID, and I think they just don't want to have anything to do with it. We're going to have severe water restrictions coming forward, even more so than now. So yes, I am affected, but in quasi ways, it's out there. I have not watered my lawn. I only water the lemon tree. I have a biblical tree. I call it a biblical tree, a lemon tree that we have. That tree gives with or without water, so I have to be kind to it. I do water it twice a week, and I have not watered the lawn, but I have weeds and reeds and stuff because I have not watered. I've watered the tree, but not the lawn, so it looks bad. It does. I'm embarrassed. So I talked to a friend yesterday. I said, "Hey, do you have a gardener?" And yes, he's Latin. And he has a Latin gardener. I think it's inappropriate for me to say who was my gardener in the past, but I think it's funny. Totally insensitive, but hey, it's Scorekeeper. So, long term, we're up the creek without a paddle, if there is such a creek left. But it is not good. Oh, here we go. Why does a pitcher raise one leg when he throws the ball? If he raises them both, he'd fall down. Being a former pitcher, I'd agree. Why do they keep the largest diamond in New York City? Or where do they keep the largest diamond in New York City? Yankee Stadium. Okay. Why is Yankee Stadium the coolest place to be? It's full of fans. I get it. That was funny. I read a joke earlier that had to do with fans. I think that's funny. And how do baseball players cool off? They sit next to the fans. So that's kind of cool. I guess a lot of fan jokes this morning. So Aisha, thank you for contributing. I think Tony will have a ruthless joke for us. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Folks, I have a lot of stuff to go over. Here's the calendar of events. Today, of course, is the 21st. Today, Formula One is in Barcelona, and NASCAR is having the All-Star event down in Texas. USFL Week 6 is right now. Coming up next week, Monaco, Formula One, and NASCAR is going to be in Charlotte. Of course, long-term, folks, I talk about it. The Big Dog's birthday is on June 9th. So that's kind of cool. And my favorite race in NASCAR, and even in the other race that they have here, I forget what it's called right now, but it's in NASCAR Sonoma. As a matter of fact, I met with 2 classmates that I've known since 1983, folks. One of them, Michael, used to be on this program regularly. Well, when we were on Blog Talk Radio. Solomon Walters, he did our auto sports for a 2-year period. It was a lot of fun. And he gave us a tour of the stadiums every week, which is really cool, across the NASCAR circuit. And one of the stadiums that I fell in love with, of course, is Sonoma. So I mentioned to him, I said, Michael, no matter what, come hell or high water, I want to do Sonoma next year. Because there's just no time. As I mentioned, the Sonoma NASCAR race is June 12th. And I just want to do it for next year. And it looks like we are. So I'm really looking forward to that. And speaking of looking forward to,
Hey,
Speedy! How you doing?
What's going on?
Homie Claus? I'm just here this early in the morning. How are you, young man?
Very good. Very well. How's everybody doing in the chat room?
We have Aisha and we have Tony right now. So it looks like we have a full house right now. And we have a few other people watching us on some of the other channels. Hopefully they'll then identify themselves. And there it is. Hey,
Yep.
hey!
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for that.
I'm waiting for Tony to deliver his joke if he's going to. Every now and then he does. Aisha delivered several. I'll put them on there again for you, Speedy, just so you can see them and for the audience again. While I stall for a minute, folks, I have to transfer my email notes over to a page on OneNote. So for those of you that know and don't know, I use OneNote for my note-taking, and you guys can see what I'm looking at. I'm going to bore you with the internal details. There it is. Look at that. That's some of the stuff that we're going to be going over today. All that is my preparation for today's program. And, of course, there's Aisha. Says, hello, da mouse. So I operate off of OneNote. As you can see, all the stuff. This is just for NDB Media, man. Look at that. Administration, legal, passcodes, program grid, our website, our Twitter, and then the different channels that we used to have on Blog Talk Radio. Of course, we still have the Daily 15. God, the stupid stuff that Carlos and I did on the Daily 15. That was a blast, man. You remember that, huh, Speedy?
Yep.
Oh, my God, folks. If you ever want to go, it's on blogtalkradio.com. You can check out blogtalkradio.com/NDB Media and /DAILY15 Daily 15. Oh my God, the stupid stuff that we did for like 2-3 years. It was incredible. So these are the lists of all the programs. Monday Night America, Sports Talk with the Guys. Of course, the aforementioned Nightmare Hunter, Jedi Tax Online, Trekking Across the Universe, The Professionals, Evermore, Back to Galactica. Oh, I remember that one. This is when I did the World History Channel. Of course, this is a program that is on Blog Talk Radio, Fandom Access, as well as the Rock and Roll Shrink, Travel Talk Radio, Travel Itch Radio. You remember Comics 101 returned. The Edge of Reality finally ended after so many years. I'll skip over that one. Mark B. Lee when he was on with us. Of course, Braves Banter after 9 years ended as well. And then there's the StreamYard stuff. So we've kind of switched over to StreamYard. I tried Ooh. Glad I covered that one up real quick. There's StreamYard. I may have to, I'm going to have to adjust that one. Oops. So anyway, but this is what we're doing, Sports Talk with the Guys. These are all the episodes, our picks, as you can see. All these pages are everything related to Sports Talk with the Guys. So I'm boring you with the sad details on how we operate, but I do use OneNote for keeping track of almost everything. But I still have my notes. This is my calendar all the way through, folks. I thank you, Tony. I really do. And I do miss it. I really do. It really was a lot of fun. And, you know, oh, well, everyone knows, you know, a dirty joke was told on the program, and that pretty much ended it. So, and I wasn't even responsible for that one, but I am responsible because it was told by one of my hosts that joined us. And, you know, oh, well, what are you going to do? So, all that for a dirty joke. So, let me see. How are coffee beans like kids? They're always getting grounded. Actually, I think that was funny. We went to breakfast with. I went to breakfast with two classmates of mine. I'm sorry, my brain was stuttering. And as we were walking through the parking lot, an older gentleman was telling us jokes, and one of them he says, "What is the negative to bigamy or polygamy?" Well, I guess he said bigamy. What's the negative? Two mother-in-laws. Like, that was funny. Yeah, you know, bigamy is when you're married more than once. Yeah. Okay. Polygamy is multiple marriages. So, I sarcastically told the woman who is my wife, "Hey, you know what? We ought to move to Utah." It's like, why? I don't know. Maybe join a Mormon sect and I can have multiple wives. You know, plural marriage. She was like, "You can't even handle one." We've been married for over 20 years, so I don't know what that means. I don't know. It was a joke. She didn't like it. But secretly, I already had the other 3 wives lined up. You know, I'm stupid. But it's okay. I know. I'm sarcastic, and I should not be mean to the belief systems of others. So, have to stay grounded. So we're going to stay grounded right now. So, folks, quite a bit to get to right now. We're going to go over some of the baseball stuff that's been happening. As a matter of fact, the Kings were eliminated in a game 7, 2-0. Is rather disappointing, but way to go, Kings. They made it to the conference finals. And now the Stanley Cup is in its final, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Let me open up the link for the Major League Baseball where they are. And we're going to go over those in a moment. So thank you, Speedy, for joining me. Let me get to them right now. Friday scores. Diamondbacks 10-6 over the Cubs. Cardinals 5-3 over the Pirates. Braves 5-3 over the Marlins. Orioles. The Orioles. Oh my goodness, the Orioles in 13 innings beat the Rays 8-6. Actually, the Orioles beat the Yankees on Thursday night too, so go figure. Oh wait, was it the Orioles or was it the White Sox? The Yankees are playing the White Sox right now, and it was postponed. Go figure. Orioles, the Orioles were. They took the last game of a 4-game series. The Dodgers. Sorry, Tony. Dodgers 4-1 over the Phillies. The Blue Jays 2-1 over the Commies, which is awesome. The Indians 6-1 over Le Tigre. The Red Sox 7-3 over the Mariners. Rangers 3-0 over the A-Holes. The Gemelitos 6-4 over America's AAA team. The Brewers took it to the Nationals 7-0. The Athletics doubled up on the Angels 4-2. Padres edged the hated ones in 10 innings, and I saw part of that game. That one was exciting. The Giants came back to tie it up in the bottom of the 9th, but the Padres did take it in 10. And as I mentioned, postponed the Yankees and the White Sox, and the Mets at Rockies. So very quickly, we're going to do the standings, and then we're going to do the watch. The watch. You know which watch I'm talking about. The hapless Harper watch. We'll get to that one in just a moment. In the American League East, New York Yankees 28-10, America's best team right now, based on wins, percentage, everything. Tampa Bay is 5.5 back, followed by Toronto, Boston, and Baltimore. In the American League Central, the Gemelitos, the Twins, The Twins are 23-16 at 590, followed by the Black Sox, the Indians, America's AAA team, and Detroit. In the American League West, the A-Holes are 25-15, a 625 winning percentage. And the Los Angeles Angels of Chavez Ravine are only a game and a half back, followed by the Rangers, the Mariners, and Oakland. In the National League East, the Mets, 26-14, 650 winning percentage, followed by the world champion A's at 7.5 back, tied with Philadelphia at 7.5 back at 18-21. Miami and Washington follow. In the National League Central, we have Milwaukee at 25-14, 641 winning percentage, followed by St. Louis, Pittsburgh, the Cubs, and the Commies at 11-27, a 289 winning percentage. Wow. They're only 13.5 back. In the National League West, you have Los Dodgers at 26-12, 684, followed by San Diego, 1.5 back. The hated ones are 4 back. And Arizona and Colorado are tied at 7.5 back. That's a quick look at standings in Major League Baseball. Speedy, what do you want to get to? We can stick with baseball. We can get to whatever you'd like right now.
Well, like I said, you got to be careful. I'm certainly having a great week. I know everybody else is. But I have to start us off. I was just on Facebook as soon as I logged in. The first thing I saw, Scorekeeper? Some seniors at a high school in Texas were allowed to do a prank, but the prank went too far when they started throwing things up, furniture over, destroying the walls, the floors, and on top of it, half the seniors weren't even told about this prank. They were left out. If I was a senior at this high school, I would be so pissed. Like, I knew about the prank, but I wasn't actually invited. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So, and now they're going to start off their lives after high school. They all graduated already. But the ones, since half of them were like, I'm going to put this on social media. Well, now the Texas police are like, oh, we know who's who, and the school wants to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law now. That's a great way to start life.
No kidding. What are they going to be charged with? Criminal mischief, mayhem, destruction of public property, all that stuff?
Well, I think they're going to throw the book at them. You know how Texas works. The laws in Texas are very different from here.
So much so that even Tony would agree with you, because Tony, our compatriot, is moving all around America, but in the north and the east. Does not go to Texas. Hell, I have flown over Texas a few times. I haven't even gone to Texas, but I have to go visit my cousin. I'm sorry, I have the privilege of visiting my cousin, folks. I traveled on my own to Alaska. I did. I went on my own, and I'm not going to stop talking about it because it did change my life. It really did. And I realized I'm going to be traveling alone more often than not. And my daughter does not like flying on airplanes. She just does not have that desire. So I learned that the hard way. And I am going to continue. So I know that Dreem is going to visit us on June 11th, Saturday. So he's going to be here. So I'm looking forward to that. My invite, and I know I publicly haven't stated it. Gridiron Girl, miss you. I'm sorry. Your mama passed away, and I know you're going through that. I miss having you on the program right here, but I know there are some other important things that you have to deal with right now. As I mentioned, the big dog is not with us right now as well, due to personal reasons. I hope he does join us real soon. But I'm hoping that Gridiron Girl will be able to join us once again in studio when Dreem is here. And I hope the big dog will be here. I don't know if he will be, but we'll see. So it's a tiny, tiny little mini little setup right here. And so it begins. That's right, Tony. Help! Texas stinks. It's full of Dallas cow turds. Last joke of the day. I'm sure Roger will get this one. A man in a job interview. Okay. Interviewer. This job requires you to know PowerPoint. How skilled are you with the program? Okay. Speedy says, well, I excel in PowerPoint. Roger says, did you just make a Microsoft pun? Speedy says, word. Think about it. Yeah, that was good. There is a video, of course, that we all know, and we usually try to play it at the beginning of the baseball season. It's Abbott and Costello, who's on first. It's really well done. Someone in 2000 did a Microsoft version. It's a bit dated now about who's on first. Have you guys heard that one? Have you, Speedy? Microsoft.
No, I have not.
Who's on first? Let me see if I can find it.
I have never heard about this video you speak of.
Well, it's not a video. Actually, it's a joke that you can read it. So let me see if I had it on. Oh, okay. Here's a version of it. I think this is a newer version. So, folks, here is another joke. I know it's not exactly sports related, but here we go. So it's, of course, imagine Abbott and Costello. Okay. If Abbott and Costello were alive today, of course, I don't like that it says infamous. That's not fair because it is a famous speech. It's not infamous. The who's on first routine. So if you're not tech savvy, sorry. But here we go. Abbott says, hello, computer store, can I help you? Thanks. I'm setting up an office in my home and I'm thinking about buying a computer. Mac? No, the name's Tom. I meant your computer. I don't own a computer. I want to buy one. Mac? No, it's Tom. Okay, you want Windows? You mean in my office? Yes, do you want a computer with Windows? No, I want a room with Windows. And I want a computer in the office on the desk. Do you want virus protection? For me? You mean like a shot? No, for your computer. In case you leave Windows open, your computer can get a virus. My computer can get sick if I leave the window open? Yes, if it gets a bug. And if it gets a bug, it might crash. A bug will crawl inside my computer and cause it to crash on the floor? No! Windows will crash on your desktop. Just make sure to close Windows. In the office? Yes, in your office while sitting in your chair. But I cannot reach the windows from the chair. Okay. Is the computer not going to be on your desktop in front of you? Yes, it is. Okay, fine. Look, after I close the windows by standing on the desktop, can I lock the windows? Yes, but you'll need a password to unlock Windows. Can I just use my hand to unlock the lock on the Windows? Well, yes, you use your hand to type the password. On my window? Yes, in Windows, but don't tell anyone your password. What if it gets hot and they want to open the windows? Oh, there's a fan in your computer to keep it from overheating. Wow, so Windows are connected to my computer? Yes, cool. Sir, I'm setting up your computer now. What pictures do you want for your wallpaper? You mean the wallpaper on my walls in my office? Thanks anyway, but we're just going to paint the wallpaper. You mean with Microsoft Paint? Microsoft sells paint? No, it comes free with your computer. Cool. On the new computer, I need something I can use to write proposals and run my business. What do you recommend? Office. Yeah, for my office. Can you recommend anything? I just did. You just did what? Recommend something. You recommended something? Yes. For my office? Yes. Okay, what did you recommend for my office? Office. Yes, I said yes for my office. I recommend Office with Windows. Of course my office has Windows. We've gone over this. No, I recommended Windows for your computer with Office. The computer in my office? No, Office in your computer. Just click on it. With my finger? No, with the mouse! Oh, that's for you, Speedy. A mouse is used to click things? Do I keep it in a cage? No, it will stay by your computer. Do I buy it at PetSmart? Do I have to feed it? No, it also comes with your computer. Do not put food in it. It will die if you do. Wow, okay, all right. Let's just say I'm sitting on my computer and I want to, type a proposal. What do I need? Word. Word? What word? Word in Office. The only word in Office is Office. Word in Office for Windows. Which word in Office for Windows? The word you get when you click the blue W. I'm going to click your blue W if you don't start giving me some straight answers. Okay, look. What about financial bookkeeping? You got anything I can track my money with? Microsoft Money. Microsoft prints money too? No, they just put it in Windows. So when I buy a computer, I get money? Yes, no extra charge. Oh, it comes bundled with your computer. I get a bundle of money with my computer and no extra charge? Yep, but you only get one license copy. You can't sell it. Sell my money? Correct. Okay, I won't. Okay, let's just say I want to turn the whole thing off when I'm done. Do I just hit the power button? No. It will shut itself down by closing Windows. It will close the Windows by itself? How does it do that? Just click the start button. You mean we click start button in order to stop it? Yes. Click. All right, that was a lot longer than I remember, and I'm sorry. Halfway through, I'm like, I'm going to stop this thing. I'm going to stop it. But anyway, Tony, are you getting at my football team? Shame on you, sir. That was about the Dallas Cowturds. I believe, Aisha, that Tony was more likely talking about the Dallas fans in particular. That's all. Yeah, not them. So we'll see. But there is some football stuff that we're going to get into. Very quickly, I'm going to post an article. Someone did, I guess, a comment about the worst fans.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm going to see if I can find that one. I actually can't find it right now. Oh, here we go. What does a nosy pepper do? Gets jalapeno business. I like that. Oh, I do. Thank you, Tony. So everyone has. Did you already tell a joke, Speedy?
No, actually, I told a joke at the beginning of the year, and here we are halfway through the year, and I haven't come up with anything. You and Big Dawg know that I have several sports books here in my apartment, but nobody finds that funny. So,
well, Big Dawg doesn't find any of the jokes funny that I tell. So, I what am I gonna do? I think I actually broke him. That's why he's not here. He's had it with me. I think that's what it is. So, I'm going to see if I can find that article about the fans. But there is a lot of stuff, as I mentioned, going on. I didn't do the Hapless Harper watch. I've been accused by people that say that we don't cover Harper when he's doing very well. I said, well, what's the point? It's the Hapless Harper watch.
What is the point? What is the point? And we cover everything here, ladies and gentlemen. We know everybody's watching and listening right now. And, let's go. I need to go off on a tangent because that last 25 minutes last week, Tony and everyone else was like, this is what the Sports Opinion show was?
Oh, when you ended. Oh, my God, dude. I was.
That last 25 minutes last week. And obviously they liked it because look at all these people that are still here in the chat room. Tony was like, I appreciate this kind of commentary about sports. I'm like, yeah, well, this is what it was like back in the day. Just me. On occasion, there would be several guests, but, once in a while.
Little bit of history. I'm going to take us down the family tree. We started Blog Talk Radio, the Speedy Show. Oh, that's funny. I like it.
That's what he called it last week.
Oh, there it is, Tony. Yeah, I thought so. Aisha, he's not going after you. He was going after the
Yeah.
fans. We began Blog Talk Radio. I made the decision to start in July of 2008, and I worked backwards. I said, okay, I want to do this. Let's start doing the practice. What I want to do, I said, okay, so let's start in September, going live, doing whatever. And I had called into several programs. I had seen the Sports Opinion Show, the Couch Potato program. I called in for over a year. Ramey did 2 programs. Frank Ramirez. I actually followed him into Blog Talk Radio because I really enjoyed what he did. And I forget the names of the 2 programs that he did, but he was really funny. But Matt Alvarez and the Sports Opinion Show started in 2007. He really was one of the first on the network. And we immediately made contact. When we went live in September, the last Tuesday in September, that's the day that we celebrate as NDB Media's birthday. We did 2 test programs, I think September 15, and then whatever, and they were on Tuesdays. And we finally went official on the last Tuesday in September. That's NDB Media's birthday. So it was, I believe, September 28th. This year, the anniversary would be September 27th, I guess. The last Tuesday in September. We started sports on November 1st of that year as well, which was awesome. It was a Saturday. And I'll never forget, Big Dog and I talk about it. It was like the best program we ever did. But Blog Talk Radio, there was an error, and it's gone. The episode is in digital heaven, I guess, never to be heard again. It was a shame, because we did so well, and we've never done as well as that since. But it was after we did the sports program that we started meeting everyone else from sports, and we immediately met up with Speedy. And he did his program. Oh my goodness, Speedy. You did it through what? About 2011, 2012. That's when Blog Talk Radio started charging for the stuff. And it was very expensive. And it really was. And he was on every Friday.
Yeah.
What time were you on? At 3 p.m. or 1 p.m.? What was it?
1 p.m. 1 p.m. to 3.
So we had an informal alliance. We were on Saturday. He was on Friday. And I know that we were involved with several programs and we would announce each other. And, you know, it was really cool. And of course, tax season came around. So I wasn't realizing. And Speedy was in our chat room. And I'm like, dude, what's up? I haven't seen the Sports Opinion Show in a while. And then he told me what it was. And I was like, dude, come and join us. Well, it took him a few weeks. And the Sports Opinion Show transitioned over to NDB Media. And he was on with us until, of course, Speedy did get sick. I think it was in 2015. That's when you stopped doing the program on a regular basis. But you've still been with us on Sports Talk with the Guys.
Yeah, that was fun because I would be like, because right after me, you know, Sonny Clark, who's on the East Coast, would come up to get because, you know, he's like, I gotta do this and do this and do that. And I'm like, well, sure, you know. And I would tell everybody on Blog Talk Radio, don't leave right after. I'm going to end in a few minutes. Go straight to Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports. He'll be on next right here on Blog Talk Radio. And that was our transition. And I forgot there was another sports show that would announce me before I came on. So that was, and we worked that into, you know, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then remember him and his friend started doing the Castano sports show, Cuervo. Him and Cuervo started doing Sunday mornings together. So that
I am the one that met Cuervo and asked him to join. That's my only claim to fame is I met Cuervo. Well, we all did when we were in Vegas. That's how we met Cuervo, seriously. The poor guy was on crutches. He had messed up, I believe, his ankle. And we were talking about the Raiders and the quarterback. And I'm like, man, no. And we were doing it in the casino. And the young man, I'm like, I need some help here, man. Anyone? And he hobbled on over. And I said, yes, sir. And he gave his name. He gave his first name. And he started giving his analysis, which was against me. And I'm like, dude, I was asking for help. You're against me. But his analysis was flawless. And it was cool. And I'm like, Sonny, hey, there's your co-host. And they made contact, they exchanged information, and the rest was history.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it was Sonny that arranged for us to be in Las Vegas to do the programs at the studio at the casinos. But yeah, I'm the one that said, dude, you got to be on the program. And it was absolutely awesome. But I took your thunder, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, Cuervo been doing good on Sundays. So it's been really awesome, but that was our thing back then. We would all transition with each other's shows, and Wear Down Girl and everybody else, and this has been fun. So I wasn't sure what to expect today because I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna have a full chat room or maybe just Aisha, but I guess people enjoyed it the last 25 minutes from last week. Tony's like, so this is what the experience was like back in the day. I'm like, yes, it was.
For those of you that remember Jim Rome, I compared Speedy to Jim Rome, and I said, wow, when the Sports Opinion Show was on our network, which still kind of is, it is, and I would say we've got our own Jim Rome. That was Speedy right here. And it's been a lot of fun, folks. Sports is what brought us together, and is what keeps us together. So, folks, I know the Kings lost. Is this late? Does Scorekeeper present the colors well? Do I look professional? Does it look good on the Scorekeeper? If not, I'm gonna have to get the Yankee jersey. The Yankees jersey. Oh, so by the way. As Tony says, now he's whipping out the jokes. How does a rabbi make his coffee? He brews it. Oh, yeah. Come on, Speedy. That was funny.
That was funny. No, but my mind went blank there for a minute. There's also a little Bible joke about that.
Oh, really?
Something along the lines of, I forgot how it goes. Something along the lines of, why doesn't she make him coffee? Because he brews. That's it. Get it? Because it's from the book of Hebrews.
Well, yeah, there it is. What did the Buffalo say when his son left for college? Bye, son. I like it. I'm sorry, folks. If you can put a smile on someone's face, it's a good thing, folks. And if we're able to do that, then it's worth what we do. And yes, I do. Chrissy, you call me Chrissy one more time. Chrissy Everett. Oh, my God. That was hilarious. And, folks, it dates back to the Phantom Tackle. Because, as you know, Jim Everett. I'm sorry. Jim Everett. You see, even I'm calling Chris Everett. Oh, wow. Jim Everett went back, and he was there, and all of a sudden he went down. And there was no one near him. There was about 2 feet. No one was even close to him, and he went down. Oh! And Jim Rome just went on the attack. And it was absolutely hilarious. We'll see if we can get some video on that sometime in the future, because I'm not going to do it now.
Yeah.
Hey, Mouse, I'm here because I missed the end of the program, but I'll let you off this time, says Aisha. So
yeah, okay, Aisha, okay.
I've got to get out of my system, all kidding aside. Look, as you know, we rip players when they're doing badly, and we also admit when they're doing well. And our hapless, he makes it so easy, folks. But the hapless Harper watch. This last week, Harper, look, he's getting paid the bucks. And up until now, he hadn't really been performing. But for the last few weeks, the man is performing, and we're giving him his props. He's hitting .519, He has a 563 on base. And his slugging is 1.04, folks. Slugging means this, okay? One hit is a base hit, right? So it's one base. So if you have, like, say, 4 at bats, you have 4 total bases in those 4 at bats. He has a 250 slugging, which is also a 250 batting average. But if he has a double instead of just a single, he's still 1 for 4. He has 2 bases divided by the number of at bats. That's a 500 slugging. So as you can see, it's relatively easy to understand why he's over 1,000. That means he has more bases in power. It's a measurement of power as opposed to at bats. So he basically has 100 at bats and like 107 bases. That's impressive, folks. He's hitting for power. In this week, as I said, he hit 519 with 3 homers, 8 RBIs, 4 walks. He struck out 4 times. That might be the only negative. And he stole 3 bases. Impressive. And for the season, he is now hitting 305 with 9 homers, 27 RBIs, 6 stolen bases. On base is 361 and an OPS of 995. Folks, I'm ready to rip him, but I'm ready to acknowledge him as well. That's what he's paid to do. So good. Keep it up, Harper. Keep it up, and we'll give you some praise from time to time. You're not going to get much else from us.
But I can't believe that, is it true what Tony just put in the chat room? That Jim Rome almost knocked out by Jim Everett?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when he called him Chrissy.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part.
I apologize for the phantom tackle. He was going back to pass, and he felt something, heard something, and he went fetal on the field, and no one was near him. So he started calling him Chrissy Everett. Oh, and in an interview, famously, okay, I'll see if I can find it. In an interview, face to face, he was telling him, Chrissy, he says, call me Chris again, and I'm going to knock you out, dude. It was a funny scuffle. I mean, let's get real. He didn't deck him or anything. He pushed him more than anything else.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't know that, Tony. Uh-oh. I think I froze on my end. Forgive me. Okay.
No, you didn't freeze. You look fine. And you also look good in that jersey, too. That's a nice jersey, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Speedy. I appreciate that. He has an ulnar collateral on his right elbow as well. Ooh. Okay. My props. Yeah. Okay. Jim Everett. Oh, and guys, check it out. Oh my God. This is funny. So obviously I'm typing JIM space EVE, and look at what shows up. Jim Everett and Jim Rome. Okay. And there's the Phantom Sack video. Okay, so check it out. I know there's no video, or there's no sound, forgive me. But here's the Phantom Sack, okay? I haven't seen... Oh, man. There's a commercial, sorry.
Yeah, I love YouTube.
I know, I apologize. Check it out. Okay, he's on the left of the screen over here. Check it out. He felt the bullet when there was no bullet. Look again. Never seen a quarterback do that. I mean, no one, guys, no one.
No one touched him at all.
No one touched him at all. Yeah, that is embarrassing. It is done. And I think this is the interview now. Check it out. Chris Everett. Thank you for joining. He says, you've been calling me that for 5 years. Actually, 2 years. Let me say one thing. How many sacks did I have? Yeah, but this was back in 1989. He called him Jim. You ceased, and you became Chris. If you want to take a station break, call me Chris one more time. We better take a station break. We got a long way to go, pal. It's a 5-minute segment. Oh, man. I wish I could translate it all. You won't say it again. Chris? Okay, you see? That's all it was, man. But it says that Everett did apologize for that, but that was it, folks. He pushed him down. And I wish I had video on this computer. I haven't been able to make it work because I'm just old, dumb, and stupid. I'm not able to do that. But he said, do you know, we can take a station break if you want. But you call me Chris again, and, I'm going to plant you. And he says, hey, dude, we just started a 5-minute segment. We're going to be here for a while. So, all right, well, you call me that again, and it's not going to go well for you, Chris. And he just gets up, and he pushes the table, and he knocks him down. God, it was hilarious, man. I remember seeing it. Oh, you had never seen that?
No, never. Not until this moment. It's funny that we're talking about this because just the other day, one of the other churches in the area that we borrow our building. I told you and Big Dog about this before on the air, but they were like, Mateo. I was like, no. I know we're new friends, but we can't be addressing me like that. Like, why? That's your name in Spanish. I'm like, I hate that name. My brothers and sisters, they never had a problem with my mom calling their names out in Spanish. And especially when we were in trouble. You know how that goes, right, Scorekeeper?
Oh, yeah.
I could just picture in my head, I could just hear your mom saying your name in Spanish.
Yeah.
Get your butt in this house right now, young man. What did your father tell me you did? I don't know.
Oh, I found it. Check it out. Okay. The video is going to happen right now. Okay. This is a famous moment in baseball. Big Dog and I die laughing about this. And it is the very famous moment where Nolan Ryan is facing off against Robin Ventura. And you have to remember, Nolan Ryan is with the Texas Rangers. Robin Ventura is with the Black Sox. And it's... you just got to look at it. It's hilarious, man. Watch. And the windup and the pitch. Boom! He thinks about it. Screw it. Oh! Nolan Ryan is like 45 years old. Robin Ventura's in his 20s. Yeah, Nolan Ryan kicks his ass, man. Kicked his ass. Look at that. Look at that.
Everyone's like, break it up. No, I don't want to break it up. He started it.
Oh, my. Nolan Ryan is at the bottom of the heap. Sit down, dude. Sit down. Oh, it's funny. I mean, it was a dog pile, and Nolan Ryan was at the bottom of that pile, man. But the thing about that was Robin Ventura, a former U.S. Olympic player on the baseball team, young guy in his 20s, got whooped by a 40-some-year-old. Oh, my God. And he had a bloody lip. I think both of them had a bloody lip after. But it's hilarious how the young guy goes up to the old man. He's waiting for him, and he gets him in a headlock, and he's wailing away. Look, I'm not for violence, but it is so damn funny. Yes, Tony, he kicked his ass.
Aisha said, "Dog pile!"
Yes. We look back on that and we just die laughing. And I have an article on that right now. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to put it in the chat room if you guys want to check it out. But it happened on or about the 15th. And look, we knew Nolan Ryan as being tough. We didn't know him as a jerk per se. And it's not that he was a jerk, but it's funny. He was a tough guy. At that moment, you knew he was a tough guy. He beat up a guy who was half his age. And yeah, Nolan Ryan would throw inside and stuff. But, hey, it is what it is. And, he hit him. He hit him in the back. Okay? Yeah, it sucks. It hurts. But, dude, let it go. Take your base. That's what you do. If I'm going to get hit by a guy that throws 90-some miles an hour and he got me in the hefty part of my back, I'm going to put the bat down and roll trot to first. He didn't throw my head. He didn't throw anywhere else. He got me in the back. That's like, all right. Yeah, I'm mad. It hurts. But you just keep going. It's Nolan Ryan. The guy is so good at what he does. Let it go. And Robin was going to let it go. And then he says, screw it. And he rushes the mound. And Nolan's like, huh? He's like, all right, come on, kid. I've done this with steers. And you bragged them.
Oh, well, speaking of doing this, we know what's been happening, presently with baseball because
that's right.
Tom Healy just reported that virtually there might not be no chance that the Mets and the Rockies play today because if Coors Field is playable after all the rain they've had the last couple of days, he said they're going to try and get a doubleheader either today or tomorrow for the entire series. If not, then this is going to be very inconvenient for everyone. And then the league is throwing in, he said the league is throwing in, well, for no reason at all, we might have to move this game to Denver. Okay. I understand, rain causing problems, but why is the league trying to move the game all the way to Denver?
Yeah, that I don't understand. Tony, I forgot about that. Folks, I really forgot about this, that this is almost brand new to me. Check it out. Here's another video that we're going to go to. This one happened on July. Oh, talk about signaling your intentions. No wonder he got his dialogue. Yes. This, I'd forgotten about this one. Thank you, Tony. We're going to watch it live. I haven't seen it in some years. This was on July 7th, 1987, I believe. Eric Shaw, which his name is SHOW. Eric Shaw, not show. Check it out. Oh, 91 versus him. Look at it right here. Oh!
Ooh. That was brutal.
Sutcliffe was the first one out.
Yeah, the benches are clearing. Wait. Do I see Giants hats? Were they playing the Giants?
No, Padres.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Tony, I thank you. Yeah, this was bad. He finally got up after a while. Oh, baby! He's going after Eric Shaw now. Vukovic. I remember that name from the Brewers. The umpire's telling him to get out. Dawson almost got him. Wow, look at that. Dawson made a beeline for the dugout.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, folks, about this one, what really made it interesting was, again, being a pitcher, I thought, in my analysis, seeing the way it is, look, Eric Shaw dominated Dawson. Up until that point, Dawson had hit .091 against him. Shaw eats him alive. I don't think Shaw's trying to put him on. Seriously. What he's doing, he is pitching close. You know, you're backing him off the plate, trying to do stuff like that, and he pitched. It might have gotten away from him, but let me tell you, Shaw, he's a little punk too. Okay, so when I first saw it, I thought the pitch got away from him. But notice who flipped out on the team. It was another pitcher, Rick Sutcliffe. He's the one that shot out. Rick Sutcliffe, who's now either a color commentator or play-by-play for the Atlanta Braves, he's played the game long enough to know. Guys, when you play your position, you know. And that's why I've said, as a former pitcher in high school, you know, semi-pro stuff, I know when the pitchers, you know, man. And it didn't look like it to me. I thought it got away from Shaw, but then Shaw was a punk. So, yeah, it might have gotten away. And I got to give it to Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe was a pitcher. He jumped out of there and went after Shaw. That makes a difference. So, Dawson stayed down for a while. But if you want a teammate, Sutcliffe's your teammate. Because, pitchers are pussies. Come on, they are. Forgive me, they are. So knowing that a pitcher came running out, that gave it some flavor. But when Dawson finally got up, he went straight for Eric Shaw, as you saw, and they kept him. Then the ump said, dude, you got to go to the dugout. And I guess Dawson calmed down as Shaw did the line for the dugout. Dawson took off after him. And the announcers were like, oh, looks like Dawson's going to get him. But someone intercepted him. And yeah, Tony, Dawson's mouth was all messed up after this. And then, folks, you need to remember that, well, for those of you that remember and don't, this was 1987. This was a year of part of the collusion in baseball. I know it was 85, 86, and they were still holding out. In 87, Andre Dawson was a free agent, and no one offered him money. No one. So he finally went to the Cubs, and he says, look, sign me. And I forget who the general manager was. He signed him for a 1-year, $500,000 contract. Well, for those of you that know the history, oh, yeah, it was a ripoff. Dawson's hit 49 home runs that year. I'm going by memory, folks. And I think I'm right on that one, Tony. I'm going to look it up. Major League Baseball, Eric Dawson. It was either 47 or 49 home runs, but he had a monster year that year. And, of course, he signed a bigger free agent deal because I believe by that time the arbitrator had ruled that owners were colluding and keeping salaries down because free agency died in 86 and 87. So much so that yeah, thank you, Tony. You demand. It was 49 home runs. It was a monster year, guys. 49 homers and 137 RBIs. And if I'm not mistaken, he was the MVP that year on a last place team. And people were like, hey, come on. How can an MVP be on a last place team? With 49 homers and 137 RBIs, that's how you can be the MVP. Now, the arbitrator ruled either later that season or early. I don't remember, but Kirk Gibson was a free agent, and he was ruled as they colluded against. So they immediately made him a free agent, while the Dodgers signed Kirk Gibson. And I think you guys all remember the rest was history for 1988. That was a magical year for the Dodgers. It was an incredible World Series. Folks, the best team in baseball up until the World Series was the Athletics. They just murderized all of baseball. But in the World Series, the Dodgers were the better team. Period. You cannot say the best team was beat. This isn't the Yankees scoring 55 runs in the World Series against the Pittsburgh Pirates that scored 17, and the Pirates won 4-3. It's not the same thing. Oh, yeah. But, I think it was in 1984, Gibson hit that massive home run off Gibson. And in 87, I think the Tigers were in the playoffs, and Gibson hit a big either game-tying or game-winning home run. And I remember Gibson, let me tell you, I went to several games and I saw Gibson on the field. Yeah, he gave me the creeps. He was... Yeah, he did things that I don't want to talk about on air. But you know what? Hey, we all have our foibles, whatever. But his
remember
yeah.
What I said earlier... Remember when I said earlier that I believe this might cause conflict and a brutal crunch time for the Mets, and I'm right. The story goes on that this is a brutal time for the Mets to encounter a scheduling conflict if the league has them go to Philadelphia to finish the game for whatever reason. So it seems to me like the Mets are like, league officials, we can't do that. We have another game after that, but it's not in Philadelphia. You're actually sending us in the opposite direction of what we're trying to do with these games that you set up, and you're basing this all because of rain delays. And so the league's like, well, we'll stay here through the weekend. We'll see if the rain clears out. I mean, the snow. I'm sorry, the snow. Either today or tomorrow is what they're betting on. And then we'll have to do a doubleheader game, they said.
Well, the problem is, remember, baseball missed a week of games, and they added them to the schedule. So baseball already has a tight schedule. And now it's May, folks, late May. We shouldn't be getting the weather that we're getting. And we are. And, yeah, I know the Yankees have had several delays. And they're trying to make them up as doubleheader. I think there's going to be a doubleheader for the Yankees probably Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. Probably going to be Sunday. It's becoming difficult. Tony does comment about the catch. I do remember that one. When he fell down and he still caught the ball. Look, Gibson, after he hit the home run against Dennis Eckersley. And you know what? Look, the Dodgers... They blew the story. They blew the story when they said, yes, he throws a slider on 3-2 pitch. So we knew it was coming. Dude, it was a magical moment. Gibson could not walk. And he went up there and he fouled off how many pitches and he hit the game-winning home run. It was a Hollywood moment that became real. For the Dodgers, our scouting report, we knew he threw 3-2 sliders. Whatever. Shut up. Gibson hit it out. At that point, Gibson had every right to be there to win when it was up. So,
did you hear about the Notre Dame player who actually crawled to home plate this week? I sent you the information in chat.
I don't think I saw that. I did not see that.
I even put it on Sports Talk with the Guy's page. I can't.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's been there all week, and I can't stop watching it because I'm like, wait, how is he able to do this and you see the pitcher's like, wait, what? Oh no! And he throws the ball home.
I look. When I was
Even the announcers weren't sure how to call it, and I'm like,
he stole home. I mean, how difficult is it? Look, Notre Dame already.
No, they're saying that he actually crawled to home because they weren't, before you play the video, they weren't paying attention.
Right.
The opposing team wasn't actually watching him. They were just like, oh, okay, well, he's gonna stay on third, he's not gonna move, we got him. We're good. And next thing you know, they're like, what? Oh crap. And the announcers are like, wait, is that legal? I'm like, I don't follow Notre Dame baseball, but I guess it is.
Oh, it's very, folks. I was asleep the day God blessed the 100-mile-an-hour, fastballs. I didn't attend that day. I missed out. I was out sick or playing video games. I don't know what. So I was never blessed with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. When I played growing up in grade school, I was afraid. I was afraid of getting hit. Sometime in the 7th and 8th grade, in the 8th grade, I got tired of getting picked last. I was the one that was always picked last. And I did everything I could to no longer be picked last. And I remember when I got picked second, I was stunned. We were playing a softball tournament to end the year. And it was like, wow. It was me? Manuel, you're choosing me? Wow. It was a short series, and I remember I hit like 22 for 24, folks, in a 7-game series. It was unreal. Couldn't get out. And our team got beat. Got beat like 4-1 in this short series. And it's how we ended the year in the 8th grade. And I remember that we were finally going to get into it. It was probably the 4th or the 5th game. I was batting usually first or second, getting on base, but no one else was hitting behind me. Bases loaded. And I'm finally up. And we're like down a run or something. And even I'm jazzed. Everyone was like, oh man, Noriega can't get out. So, this is softball, okay? So, the rules. 4 pitches or 3 strikes, however. So I come up and I'm nervous as heck, swing and a miss. Manuel's at second, the team captain. Martin Semeno is the shortstop on the other team, the team captain. And, swing and a miss again. Like, come on, dude, come on. I'm like, all right, no problem. I bear down, and I'm like, all right, this is it. I got 2 pitches or 1 strike. I come up, the pitch, effing grapefruit. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Wham! Nailed it. Sermeno catches it, line drive, tags Manuel, steps on second base, triple play. I hadn't even gotten out of the batter's box, man. Oh, man. I was like, oh, well. What are you going to do? I hammered it right to Martin Sermeno, the shortstop. Damn. We lost. We lost the series 4-1. But the point is I learned early on that I never had the real skill to play with the real natural athletes, and it always irked me that they were lazy. Their skill was so good that they could just show up. I had to be smarter. I had to pay attention. I had to read. I had to know what's going on. So when I was pitching, this never happened to me. No one ever took a bag. No one ever took a base. When I was in the field, they never took liberties. I'm the one that took the liberties because I was always paying attention. So seeing this guy, first of all, I'm benching this pitcher. But check. Look at what happened. Let's hit play on this one. And there it is. Look. He steps in. There goes the runner. Oh, loses the balance. And he's crawling. And he steals home. He lost his balance and fell. So look at it again. He's going. And he fell.
Yeah, one more time, but watch the pitcher this time.
He's looking down.
The pitcher didn't know what was going on until it was too late.
Yeah.
And he throws the ball.
And he bounces it to home.
And the umpire's like,
one more time. Look.
The umpire's like, safe.
He put his head down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If the runner doesn't fall down, he runs across the plate. On this one, yeah, it's funny, dude. It's absolutely hilarious. The runner already caught the pitcher doing stuff. And he already saw that when he goes down, he's not paying attention. You don't do that, dude. When you're a pitcher, you always got to see with your other eyes. You know, you got to be paying attention. You put your head down. But you see, when I'm putting my head down, I'm actually looking. I can see home and I can see third. Or if I'm putting my head down, I'm doing this to see the runner back there. And actually, sometimes I can see the runner, sometimes I can't. But I'm looking to my fielders for help. So when I got a runner behind me, I'm here. I'm actually looking at my shortstop, who I already know is covering me because he's watching the runner. Because you practice that stuff. You assist each other. You back up. So that never would have happened for me or even on someone on my team. So what this runner at third base caught was the pitcher was doing things. And the minute he put his head down, he knew he kept it down for 2 seconds or whatever. That's why he took off. And way to go, dude. It's funny. It's hilarious. He took off, was running, and he lost his footing. I've done that.
Well, you say footing, but watching that, the announcers are like, he's crawling like a baby. He's crawling like a baby. I'm like, well, that's more accurate. Yeah, he does look like a little baby crawling to home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was definitely crawling to home. But speaking of crawling to home, I don't know if you guys caught this. Switching gears a little bit, Jermall Charlo knocks out Brian Castano to become the undisputed 4-belt champion at 154 pounds. That happened, of course, last weekend on Saturday. Congratulations to Mr. Charlo. He did not walk it home. He beat it home. Yeah, that was lame. Sorry. That was stupid. Oh, did you hear Siri?
Yes, I heard.
Yeah. Oh, no, Siri, no. She's one moment.
That's not nice.
That's not nice.
You heard it here, folks, live on the air. Siri is pissed at Scorekeeper. Oh,
well,
that was great.
That one was
Great
funny.
moment.
Could not make that up, folks. But this one is real. We wish we would make it up. I'm going to put the article for Speedy in the chat room. And I'm sorry, for Speedy. And I'm also going to put in the chat room. Apparently, this happened earlier in the week. This is in basketball. Rajon Rondo allegedly pulled a gun on his family. And just not good, folks. He brandished a gun during an outburst with family at a Louisville home. The mother of Rajon Rondo's children has been granted an emergency protective order against the NBA player after he was accused of pulling a gun on his family on May 11th at their Louisville home. Ashley Batchelor submitted an application May 13th in Jefferson County, Kentucky family court for an emergency protective order against Rondo. It was approved the same day by Judge Denise Brown, according to documents obtained by the Courier-Journal. As part of the order, Batchelor was granted temporary custody of her 2 children with Rondo, and he must remain at least 500 feet away. In addition, Rondo was ordered to surrender any firearms in his possession to the Jefferson County Sheriff. In her statement to authorities, Batchelor said Rondo became enraged and violent, threatened to kill her, and brandished a gun in front of her and their children. In applying for the order, Batchelor said she is seeking immediate protection for herself and her children from any future contact with Rondo and for temporary sole custody of the children. Neither Rondo nor his attorney could immediately reach for comment. The Courier-Journal could find no record of criminal charges filed in connection with the incident.
That's interesting.
Apparently, Bachelor said in a statement when she asked Rondo why he was acting this way, he responded, "You're dead." Bachelor said he contacted former police chief Yvette Gentry for assistance, opting not to call police for fear of, quote, what Rondo might do if a formal report was made. Rondo left after the call, according to the statement, but returned 15 minutes later and began beating on the back door window with his gun. Beating. Okay. Bachelor said she told Rondo he was scaring her, to which he yelled, "Go, expletive son." I don't know. In the report, Bachelor said she brought their son and allowed Rondo to see him through the door, and before I knew it, their son began opening the door. Bachelor said Rondo grabbed their son, yanked him outside, and slammed the door shut behind him. According to the statement, Rondo, while holding a gun, began yelling and cursing at their son and asking why he was afraid of him. Eventually, Rondo was yelling and cursing at both children, demanding to know why they were scared of him and effectively holding them at gunpoint. Wow. There's more to the story. You guys can check it out. But, oh, yes. Yeah. Go figure. There's more to this. The important thing is we're just reporting what we discovered on Rondo. No criminal charges were filed as of yet. So if there is an update on that, we'll see. That is very important, folks. Remember what happened with Desean Watson, which we have a little bit of news on Desean Watson as well. Hey, all this domestic news just after Mother's Day. Oops. Anyway, that was very rude of me. The issue with Rondo is that there's no charges filed yet. With Desean Watson, remember, they were suing him. 12 people were suing him for doing all this stuff. And someone in the media said, hey, notice how there are all these lawsuits of him being involved in these criminal acts, and yet there's no criminal charges against him. And then that week, someone finally filed a criminal charge, which was absolutely hilarious. So someone forgot big time. With Desean Watson, he has gone through quite a few. Hey, I heard your stomach. That's you. I heard.
Yes, you did. I will. After the show is over, I will be immediately making eggs and toast for breakfast.
Good for you, Speedy. Good for you. I will find that article on Desean Watson. But basically, the deal with Watson is all of the hearings where he has to provide a deposition, he's not going to be done in time. They've requested additional time. So this does throw a wrench. I'm not going to use the first word because that'll get me in trouble, but a wrench into what's going to go on. The whole thing was that they were apparently going to try to get it done before the season. Obviously, it's going to extend to after the season now. And folks, was I the only idiot that said that? Remember, for the last few weeks, I said, wait a minute. Why did they trade for Desean Watson knowing that this is going to be an ongoing thing for months, if not years? Dude, you got to get something. I heard it again. I was like, hey, who joined us? We have another guest on the show. Come on. There's like 20 people suing him. There's no way that we're going to get it done this summer. I was the only one, folks, that obviously stated that. And now the obvious has come to pass. So this whole thing's going to be hanging over Desean Watson's head. It was a bad deal, folks. Baker Mayfield, I don't understand why they made that deal. Whatever. I thought Baker Mayfield had deserved. Are you trying to irritate me?
I'm just letting you know that this is what I'm going to try and snack over right now.
And I'm going to have to go for the unscrutable for Smuckers. I have not had anything as well. Folks, I will be on Evermore at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm going to be talking about I'm being interviewed by Chris Smith and Holly, Smith's co-host. I should know Holly's last name, and I apologize, I don't. Aisha says, between Roger and his phone and Speedy's stomach, the outside world is going to intrude on this program. It is funny, dude. It's funny, the stuff that happens. So forgive me. I'm going to take a quick little bite. I'm going to take a little on air. So, oh, sorry. Didn't mean to scare all of you guys. There it is. Before I start growling as well, because I haven't had anything. So I have not recorded a 2 or 3 minute break for any of us yet, and that's bad. And I'm so sorry. So now that your mouth is full, Speedy, what would you like to share? What a dick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like that. Yeah.
Now I see why Big Dog gets irritated. That might only be part of it, but you know.
Go ahead, Speedy.
But you know what could be a little worse than that is, well, wait, where did it go? I just had it. Boomer says he wants the Mets to bring in Bartolo Colon to help with injuries. And like what, in injury coach?
Really?
Something like that. And it's interesting that he would ask for this, and he's like, "Come on, we got to do this. You guys bring him in, and we'll figure this all out." And because he said, "Well, he was the first guy I thought of." Because with Matt Schwartzer, Jacob DeMars, and Tyler McGill all sidelined with injuries, Boomer had one name to the team immediately come to mind that should be brought on for reinforcement. That name is Bartolo Colon, and he wasn't being serious. You can check it out on the Boomer and Geo podcast. Here I am plugging another podcast, Scorekeeper.
That's okay.
Isn't that what we do?
Not at all. They're podcasts. We're live. That's the difference.
Yes. He said, here's what I need. If he is pitching in the Mexican League, which means his arm is good, all I need is about 5 starters of 4 innings, and we'll win the game. That should be easy. Oh. He says, it's good, guys. Come on. He's telling the team that it's because Boomer is part of a cult following. No matter how much Gio can't believe he's actually serious about wanting the Mets to give Colin a call. And, they're like, well, it would be good to see him back. Boomer even said it too. Yeah, it would be good to see him back. He's got experience, and now that we have a DH here, he doesn't even have to hit. I just want to see it all over again. All right, then.
Well, hopefully he returns and he can still play in the major leagues as opposed to being down south of the border.
Yes.
Going back to baseball, folks, I don't know if you guys caught this, but the Reds were no-hit by the Pirates for 8 innings. I'm sorry, the Reds, Hunter Green and Art Warren no-hit Pirates for 8 innings, but still lose 1-0. Yes. And under Major League Baseball rules, an 8-inning no-hitter is not a no-hitter. But it's a complete game. But anyway, so the Reds become the first Major League Baseball team to allow no-hits and lose. Wow. 1-0. Congratulations, Reds. You guys are on your way to one of the suckiest years ever in the history of baseball. I don't like the Reds. I don't hate them. Just don't like them.
Yeah, well, remember the video you showed earlier? How things go array in Major League Baseball. You never know where the ball could come from. But especially, Scorekeeper, if you're simply on the sideline reporting the game. That's what happened. That's what happened this week to reporter Kelsey Ringart, who was hit directly in the head after a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And I've been trying to see if she's okay or what's her status, and I haven't really been able to find anything this week.
Well, I do have an image to share, folks. Wait, thank God for the Reds who make my Tigers look good. Oh, hell yeah. Folks, this is an image of the young lady that she posted. Wow. Check that out.
Ooh, that's a nasty gash.
And she's still bruised. It looks like big time. But I'm glad that she's up and she's able. Look at that. Oh my God. This is lifted, folks. That is lifted right there. It's a shiner. I know you can't see it very well, but wow. I hope she's okay. She took a 95-mile-per-hour line drive. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm going to see if I can find the moment that she... Well, I don't know if it would be nice to show it. Do you have video on that one?
I do not. I've only had this story to go off of. That's why I said I haven't been able to follow up with her status, and that should have been my one thing. I should have went to YouTube about that, but I didn't.
Yeah, it may be on there, but I don't see it right now. But she took a foul ball, and it left a deep cut on her forehead. They transported her to the hospital immediately, where she spent 5 hours receiving internal and external stitches because of how deep the wound is. Oh, the internal ones. Oh, my goodness. I had a CT scan to make sure there was no internal bleeding or fractures of all, and all came back clear. Thank God, she says. The stitches will have to come out in a week. I'm very lucky it wasn't worse. It was just really scary and bummed me out given the circumstances. Oh, my goodness.
Ooh. I hope it's not a lot of stitching, because I remember when I had my brain tumor surgery back in 2015.
Yeah.
7 stitches, and me and the doc, she was like, "Okay, one more. Are you ready?" And I'm like, I literally told the doctor, I'm like, "Okay, we got one more to go." She's like, "Yes, just one more stitch to take out of your head." I'm like, "Just get it over with." And that hurt so bad. And oh my God.
I really feel. Look, it sucks. It sucks that she got hit in the head. I was scorekeeping a game, hence Scorekeeper. That's where I was a scorekeeper, and I was in the dugout, and the pole was like I had my scorebook here, and I'm behind the fence. But every now and then, I wanted to get a better look, so I would lean around so I could see. I never saw whether it was a pass ball or a wild pitch. I couldn't tell. I always had to look, coach, what was it? And he would tell me pass ball or wild pitch because I could never determine it. And one time I leaned over and I had my right foot like an idiot around, just sticking out, like here's the pole. And I was just right there. A lefty batter was up, line drive, right at us. I moved. I didn't move my foot. Bam! Nailed my shoe. Oh. Yeah, I couldn't walk for a while. That one hurt. I had my cleats on, but it didn't matter. He nailed the top of the cleat right where the shoelaces are. Oh, yeah, that one sucked.
Yeah, just a side note. To all these millennials, yes, that's what you're called. Me and Scorekeeper and Big Dog have established that. Even Almighty, who's not with us today, have acknowledged that. All you millennials think, oh, well, the umpire's okay. They got a helmet on. They got that face shield. Yeah, right. Go back and look at the past few years, as recently as 2018, where a ball actually went inside the umpire's face, and his face was really messed up. All his blood was, yeah. So just because they're wearing, they have helmet protection and the face mask, that doesn't matter. They can still get just as injured as the players, right?
They've changed the uniforms, and when Speedy and I were growing up playing ball and stuff, yeah, we're a few years apart, but we still had it, and I think Tony remembers it. I don't know if Aisha does, because she loves football more than baseball, but for about 20, 30 years, catchers had a little like thing that would hang down. There's a piece of hard plastic. It would hang onto the catcher's mitt, and I think the umpires wore them for a while too, where it would cover the throat. And it was an invention by Steve Yeager, the catcher of the Dodgers, who got hit in the throat. And he's the one that basically invented it and became part of the uniform. Well, now that throat cover is gone, what I believe they've done when Major League Baseball adopted the hockey-style mask, where you have the mask that is around you, of course, and you have a metal protrusion which comes down a little bit. So it doesn't flap anymore. It's just, it elongates down. And when you take a look at new catcher's equipment, I guess that is supposed to prevent your throat from being hit. And I think the umpires have that. But I don't know if they're wearing the old balloon type cover or if they're wearing just the vest. It could still hit you and get up there. I would think. And I just, umpiring is no fun.
I'll send you a YouTube video about the what I'm talking about. I think he's wearing just the actual uniform and nothing underneath it, because the ball goes right into his face and comes under the mask, and you can see him take the ball right to the nose, and all this blood starts coming out, and here come all the other umpires, of course, and they're like, dude, are you okay? And they got him to sit up. They're like, sit up, don't try and stand up, just sit on the floor here for a minute. And the camera just zoomed in, and you could just, his face was like, I'm like, oh my gosh, so much blood. And they actually walked him off the field, and I guess he was okay. And I don't know if they're like hockey, where they're like, okay, we'll be fine. We have an extra umpire to do home plate, and if he doesn't get hit by the ball too. But yeah, everyone thinks that just because these umpires have these protection hockey type masks, they're protected, they'll be fine. Nothing can hurt them. Yeah, right. As I said, the ball still went straight through, and it somehow went up his throat, knocked him into the nose, and that's when all the blood starts coming out. And it took a while for them to figure out where the ball went, because not even the players knew where the ball went, because it just happened so fast. But like, we're not worried about the ball. Screw the ball. Us as players, we're all worried about this umpire right here. Even the answers were like, we're not going to worry about where the ball is right now. We want to make sure that this umpire is okay. That's a lot of blood. And I'm like, yeah.
There's, I found a compilation of umpires getting hit.
Okay, it might be on there.
Well, it's a year old. If you have the one for the umpire getting hit right now, folks, we never hit an umpire, and I never did. There were lots of umpires that pissed me off, but you couldn't. It was stupid to anger an ump, no matter what you say. It doesn't matter if look. There are times to let the umpire know that, in your opinion, they got the call wrong, and you have to let them know. But you have to let them know smartly and dignified. You have to respect them, because if you piss them off, and if you piss them off in the first inning, that guy's going to be pissed all game at you. And I never pissed off umpires, but I saw my teammates piss off umpires, and calls would go against us. Not because he was a bad umpire, because now you made him pay attention to you. And the calls that you used to get are like a little bird that flew away. So if Speedy does have that video, I'll go ahead and show it. But the compilation of umpires getting hit, and some of this is, well, check it out. I'm going to go to it now. This one I saw part of it, so bear with me. Here we go. Here's the pitch. Oh!
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. See the shirt he's wearing?
So it caught him above the vest, under the mask. Oh.
Yeah, it went up.
Look at this. Oh! Right in the knee. But there's a pad there. That still hurts, man.
Pad.
Oh, he caught it.
I think this one was where he got hit on the elbow. No, wait, no.
Oh!
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about right there.
Okay, check it out. Oh, sorry. That one got him in the knee. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one right there. Mm-hmm. Where he's laying in the dirt. Oh, gosh.
Now, I know it's a bat. I should have backed up just a little bit. But you see right here the outline. For those of you that can see it, I'm sorry, you're probably seeing it in a small image. That's what I'm talking about. There's an extension. There's a metal extension now. And that works most of the time. But this one took a horrible bounce, and it just went on. And that's what I described earlier. I could see it coming in right here, and that's exactly what happened. Dude, that is horrible.
That is.
Yeah, that's bad. But obviously accidental. Those things happen. As I tell others, look, I never try to hit enough. It was stupid. I mean, that's suicide. You'll lose the game. Are there times that umps deserve to get hit?
You decide.
Let's just say that no one hits umpires. But when a team actually decides to do it, what does that tell you? What does it tell you? You know you're screwed for the rest of the game. Think about it.
Yeah.
When a team decides to be that vindictive, something happened big. And I've seen umpires where the pitch comes in and the catcher goes that way, and the pitch comes right at it, hits the umpire square. Yeah, it pisses you off. But as an umpire, I've seen video where the umpire just walks off and calls the game. It's like, dude, all you had to do was tell the pitcher, you're gone, you're out of here instantly, and you warn the other team and say, that shit was done on purpose. The manager's gone. Coach is gone. And anyone who says a word, I'm telling them, say one word and you are gone. That's it. That's how you handle it. And you should continue the game. But was it dirty? Oh, yeah. Do umpires deserve it? I don't think anyone deserves anything, but there are times that you have to send a message. That's as far as I'm going to go. You don't want to hurt anyone, but you have to send a message.
No. Do you remember, though, Scorekeeper, when 4 Mets players got arrested in Texas?
No, I don't.
Date?
I do not.
July 20th of 1986. Location? Cooter Stadium in Houston, Texas. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. Kind of sounds like a recipe for success. Not. Well, all these details match the whereabouts of 4 New York players on this day in '86. The players on that evening in question were Ron Darling, Tim Tufo, Bob Ortega, and Rick Aguilera. 3 pitchers and a position player, all of whom had snuck out after team curfew to have a night on the town. I can tell it's already getting bad, and I was probably about, what would you say, probably about 4 or 5 years old at this time. I was born in
You?
yes.
I was already 17.
I was born in '83, so I must have been about 4 or 5 years old when this was going on. But they snuck out after team curfew. Sounds like me trying to sneak around my parents going, don't tell them that I have homework when I told them I didn't.
Wow.
They went to a bar deep in the heart of Texas where the quartet of the Mets got them in trouble with the law. Because the 4 Mets players mentioned were arrested in '86 after an altercation with 2 police officers that beat Terval, severely beaten. This was also, according to the article written by the New York Times back then, the 4 players were placed in a holding cell for 11 hours from 2 a.m. until the mid-afternoon, posting bail, and one being released to the team, so that way, let's just say they were like, no, you bail out. No, you bail out. Okay, I'll bail out. All right, congratulations. You get to tell the team manager why we're here. And that means you're the GOAT for us. He's like, oh, crap. Darling and Tofu got the worst of the charges, being charged with aggravated assault because they assaulted a police officer. Oh my God, Scorekeeper. I had no clue this was going on in '86. That cost them each $800,000 in bail money. Ortega and Aguilera received lesser charges because they never touched the officers. They received charges for hindering an arrest. What? Wait. Was Tofu? It sounds like he had an arrest warrant or something. Oh, hindering. I thought they meant harboring. Okay, never mind. 2 different words, people. Sorry.
Okay.
And they were also hit. The other 3 were also hit with $800 bails.
Wow. That was a lot of money back then, but for you and me, that's a lot of money even then. This is the 1986 team that won the World Series, folks. Okay.
Yeah.
The New York Mets, which was an exciting team. Let me tell you, I believe they beat the Houston A-Holes in the championship series to go to the World Series. That was an exciting World Series. Yeah, it was the Mets, '86. That's when they beat the Boston Red Sox. Yep. That's where Donnie Moore in Game 5 at Anaheim gave up a 2-run blast. Oh my God, who against who? Oh my goodness. I forget who it was against. Yeah, anyway, I remember Gary Lucas came in and hit the left-handed catcher, and then they brought in Donnie Moore, who hit I think it was Henderson. Was it Henderson? Wow. Yeah, Henderson hit the 2-run blast to win it. Wow. That's crazy. But that team, the '86 Mets, that was an exciting team. Darryl Strawberry, Tim Tuffle, Bobby Ojeda, Aguilera, and I forget the other guy that you mentioned. Ron Darling, who's also a color commentator, I believe, on the Mets right now, broadcast network. He's cool to listen to. Ron Darling, he's got some great insight. So, folks, I just want to give an announcement. I just got a notice. New York Times best-selling author Michael Jan Friedman, who has been on the program with us on Blog Talk Radio, has joined us from time to time, will be joining us this Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to set it up. He has a new campaign going, and it's always fun having Michael Jan Friedman on with us. It's always a thrill and a pleasure. So he's going to be joining us on Tuesday night. Just got the confirmation right now. And we have... okay, I can't announce this one. I should keep it cool for right now. But we have a producer from another program that's going to be confirming very soon. So I apologize. I'm doing multiple things right now. So this is neat. This is cool. It's always fun having Michael on right now. So this Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, if you want to join us, as I mentioned, Michael Jan Friedman, New York Times bestselling author, is going to be on the program on with us to discuss his new campaign as well as his latest works. So look him up, man. He's written a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. And it's really fun having him on. So we're going to continue. I apologize for that interruption right there. So, all right. Speedy, what else did you want to get to? I know I sent a lot of stuff, but I think it was more like filler, quite frankly.
Yeah.
The Preakness is this weekend, if I'm not mistaken, folks. So the second leg of the Triple Crown. But the Preakness this year, the winner of the Kentucky Derby will not race. So let's see. The winner of the 2022 Kentucky Derby will not be racing in this year's Preakness, as Rich Strike's team has its eyes on the Belmont Stakes. That means that once again, it will be anyone's race. Not just a figure of speech, but it is the way it is. Rich Strike was a long shot to win the Derby, but he managed to win the Run for the Roses by a length, and the odds won't be quite as long for any racehorse in the 9-horse Preakness field. So, good stuff. Preakness is coming up, and I think Belmont is 2 weeks after that. So, there's no Triple Crown winner this year. So, we'll see. All right.
I thought I sent you, and I'm looking on my personal page. Maybe I posted it there. No, I didn't. That's okay. I'll just tell you guys about it. And maybe while I'm talking about it, maybe you can look it up. There was a thing that came up on Wednesday on Facebook Reels where it's a little league game where the parents were heckling the umpire, and the umpire asked them to please quietly, be polite, be constructive, be adult, because there's a bunch of little kids here. And the parents are like, "Oh, you suck! You're a terrible umpire!" And blah blah blah. And finally, the umpire just took off his hat, took off his uniform hat for the game, for the little league, district or whatever. And he's like, "That's it, game over," and he left. Wow. I'm like, well, I don't blame him. I probably would have left too if the parents wouldn't stop heckling me. This is a little league game, and I mean, watching that video, I mean, these parents were acting like they were at a bar of some sort, and where they could just talk to him like that and call him out every word in the book, but he wasn't going to stand for it. He's like, no, can't we have more maturity than this? I'm out of here. Game over. And one parent even goes, "Yeah, don't come back." I'm like, well, that's kind of rude. That's very rude, actually.
I know that there's a shortage.
Yeah.
At least a perceived shortage of umpires. And umpires, look, folks, they're getting paid to do the game, but they're not getting paid as much as you think. And they're doing it because it's forgive me, it's a side hustle. And it's a thankless job. Because I've been at youth games, and seriously, folks, I was going to say the owners, the parents, they're the worst ones. They are the worst ones. And it's not because of their commentary, it's of how they act. And it's such a regular thing. I don't go to youth games anymore. I used to go to Beverly Hills. I would go to El Monte. I would go to Long Beach, Los Angeles, everywhere. I love watching youth games. But the parents aren't even funny. They're like the Houston a-holes. That's what they are. They themselves are cheaters, and they themselves are loudmouths, and they use language that is not appropriate. And the umps, when an ump has to tell you, "Hey, there's kids here," and then they attack the umpire. It's yeah. And the only way it works is because you really can't eject. I mean, you can eject a fan, but how do you keep them away? Well, how you keep them away is they're obviously there. They're associated with the team, whatever. The fan that's heckling, if they don't want to leave, you tell the opposing team. If that fan doesn't leave, I'm calling the game. No one wants the game called. No one. But it's getting to the point where people don't want to umpire the games because of the fans. What does that tell you, man? And there's a shortage throughout the United States of umpires. People just don't want to do it anymore. It's not worth it. It's, look, you heckle the ump. You heckle them. You question their vision. You talk about stuff they've done. You make fun of them. You question. You don't be an a-hole about it. Why do you want to irritate the ump? If you irritate the ump, it's going to go against you. But how many videos have you seen, Speedy? I have, where just... And it's not just fans that go. It's the parents of the kids. They're just out of control.
Oh, yeah, way out of control, which is why I said, watching the video, the way they were heckling him, and the language they were using, you even see one little girl turn around and go, like, she had this look on her face like, "Dad, what does that mean? What is that word that you just said?" And he clearly looks away from her and just keeps going back to the umpire, like, as a way of saying, "Oh, don't worry about what I said." You're the one that said all this crap at a kid's baseball game for minor league. And you're right, they don't make that much. Every summer, I see these ads pop up in my area about being an umpire for Little League, and it's only like $50 to $100 or something like that. Because it's Little League. And that's what you're going to make as a Little League umpire, I guess. At least here in my area. I don't know about your area.
Yeah, it's funny you would mention that. Look, the average numbers, and this goes back to, I believe, last year. And, this is this year. The article was written May 9th, 2022, and it has to talk about the umpire shortage in youth softball, baseball, high school, etc., all that stuff. So, they say that umpires, which does surprise me, because when we were playing high school, as team manager, and not team manager as you think, but team manager, I was responsible for equipment. Guys, I told you, I was the 9th man on an 8-man pitching staff. Come on, figure it out, okay? I got to play, but I got to play as other positions. But anyway, I would scorekeep. I would get equipment. I did all the stuff. So I was sent to the office to go get the checks for the umpires. I need their names. And I remember how they would get paid. Back in the 80s, they were paid like $30, and the home school would pay for the umpires. Now, they say that umpiring shortage is a national problem. The pandemic, and this is from Omaha, may also have thinned numbers in recent years. So umpiring organizations have to keep recruiting young umpires, offering training and good pay. An umpire can make $25 to $30 an hour for youth levels, and up to $75 an hour for high school level games. So if games are projected to go 2.5 hours, an umpire on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or whatever, and earned 75, 75, 37, 50, 187, 188 for a game. For an afternoon, hey, that's not bad. You can spend time with kids.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all, man. High school. And, growing up, I was taught on my high school team, and I say that, I was taught to respect the umpires. Just don't pick a fight. That's coach's job. You could say something to them, but you shared an opinion, and that was it. It was like a one-word opinion. That's why I joked. My cheer for the ump was, "Come on, Blue!" and I used that when I was at first base. I never did it when I was pitching. Never. I never did the long stare. Never. But when I was at first, if I thought the pitch was wrong or the call was bad, I was like, "Come on, ump! Come on, Blue!" That was it. You shared your displeasure. You move on. That's it. So, except for that one time where I famously described how I snapped on the field. And, yeah, I got away with it, dude. I got away. It seemed to me like it went for 5 minutes, but the reality was I snapped for about a minute. And the ump was just so shocked that I was, like, saying anything that he was like, "Holy crap, this guy talks." Because I got away with questioning his vision, his lineage, where his family came from, where he came from, his intelligence, everything. I think the umpire realized, holy crap, I may have blown this call. But couldn't make a change, because if you make a change, you lose all respect. Because if they know you'll make a change, that means they could complain and bitch about everything, and you'll never be able to ump a game again. So, I get it.
Now you can. And, I mean, what did we just talk about 10 minutes ago? Where Notre Dame players, and it was all caught on television cameras, where he crawled to home and nobody was paying attention. There have been other instances, especially in, Major League, all the Major League promotions, such as baseball and NFL, where now any play can be almost reviewable if the league decides it's actually reviewable, rather than having, like what happened in 2013 when I went to a Giants game. And it's on my Facebook where I have it on video where all the umpires were like, "What do we do here?" Wait, we have to get permission from the league, don't we? Because this is either reviewable or not reviewable. And they're like, "Yep, okay, well." And you see the guy walking over to the main announcer, and the main announcer comes over to the PA system. "Ladies and gentlemen, please give us a minute. We have to wait for league officials from the top of Major League Baseball." So I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is either where I stop the video and stop recording this, or I get up and go get more nachos and a drink, and maybe a hot dog. Because it could take a while.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes later, they're like, "This play is reviewable."
Wow.
The players were the Giants were correct. I'm like, yes, because they were trying to say that Bumgarner was out, but video instant replay showed on the big screen he never actually ran out of base. He was in line with the baseline, on his way to third, which never consisted of him actually being called out. Because they claim that he did some weird thing with his body where he twirled to actually touch third base. But no, it was all there. We were all watching on the Jumbotron. And it's like, "See? Told you." And they're like, "Yeah, we can do instant replay now." So, my final comment about this whole thing that I just described to you is, number one, adults, if you're going to do this at Little League games, don't act like idiots, or like Scorekeeper's word, jackasses. Don't act like you're in a bar. Secondly, this is almost like when me and Scorekeeper, well, actually, I still do it. Scorekeeper and Big Dawg don't anymore. It reminds me of, it's almost the same thing as when you're working retail. I mean, when the pandemic started, people were like, and even after the pandemic, once we all got back to work, they were like, I'm going to switch this tag. And they give it to the cashier, and they're like, this is $3. And then they're like, can we have somebody from home department come verify this, which is me or 3 other people on the team. But it's almost always me. I don't mind being the guinea pig, because I like this stuff. And I'm like, no. You switched our tags. That is not discounted. I know what's discounted and what's not. Don't be trying to pull that fast one here. Pay full price or get out of my store.
Yeah, they would try to pull that stuff on us too. Yeah, where they would change the tag. It's obvious, man. See, folks, if you guys remember when they still had tags in the 80s and 90s, at least I grew up with the tags which had the collapsible perforations on them. I know that's kind of a misnomer, right? But if you were trying to take it off, they were the rips, the slits. So you couldn't remove a price tag and put in another item. You would know. It was obvious what it was. And even us, when we would start putting the tags on the wrong item, going, oh, crap! And you got to switch them and put them on the correct ones. It's obvious what you've done. But what we would do is we would use a black marker, like a Sharpie, to paint, I didn't mean to say that, to draw over the parts that are there, so you would know it was done internally by the store. That's the way we knew, okay, this was a lifted tag, but it was done by the store. So that's how we knew. But yeah, I had it. I think I told you the time when I was store manager at Kitchen Collection in the Citadel in Commerce, where, I disliked it with a passion. We had the price tag and we had the comparable. In other words, this is how much we sell it for, and this is how much it goes for in other places, and it was always cheaper. I had an item that was like $14.99, and the comparable was $17.99. Okay? So, well, what happened once is the gun did not print, as the pricing gun. It didn't print the one, so it said $7.99. But you could see the indentation. There was just no ink there. So the person comes up to the register and says, hey, that's $7.99. And the clerk calls me over. I'm like, what? That's not $7.99. The price is $14.99. Well, right here it says $7.99. Miss, that's the comparable. It's $17.99. No. I was like, it's $14.99. So you're not going to give it to me for $7.99? No. You know the ink didn't print. And I'll even wager that I'll go on the shelf, and that's the only one that was there. I know you found that one, and that's cool. Because if there were others, you would have brought them up as well. That's the only one. So it's unintentional on our part. So you're not going to give it to us for that price? Miss, do you know what that means? I'm telling you, you could get it cheaper somewhere else. That's what I do. And it's $14.99. It's $7.99. Go buy it somewhere else for $7.99. So it's like, come on, man. Look, I know false advertising. Oh, and I loved it when they pulled false advertising on me. I'm like, really? Come on, let me hear it. And, it was hilarious. And look, there were times when we screwed up, and if we screwed up, we screwed up. You got to give it to them for that price.
Yeah.
But when they, and you've done that, right, Speedy?
Yeah.
You've messed up, and there's nothing you do. You have to sell it for that price. But when they try to do that, it's like, and that's false advertising. Okay, go ahead. Contact the newspapers. Call California. No, that is not. Because as a store manager, if we made a mistake, I'm not going to argue with the customer. If we screwed up, they brought it to our attention. I said, look, this is the price. This is what's on here. It's like, yeah, you're right. Messed up. We got to sell it to you for that price. That's it. So, but that's one of the ones I remember. She was so mad. You're not going to give it to me for $7.99? No! I told her like that. No! Oh man, the things we remember.
Yeah, when I was running the thrift store in Oakland years ago, I had specifically put $150 on a dresser which is similar to this one behind me. It was in much nicer condition than mine, I can tell you that. It was much bigger too.
Oh, so you put the price tag of $150?
No, we actually wrote out.
Oh, you wrote on it, right?
Yeah, I wrote 150 on the back of it, just like that. Yeah, yes, just like that.
Do you know how much I paid for this calculator, folks? $1.98. I got it at a secondhand store. Look, it was $10.98, $8.98, $5.98, $3.98, and $1.98. Sold. Noriega's taking it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Speedy.
Yeah, and then I came in one day and they're like, Matt or Brian, can we see up front, please? And it's like, okay, let me go see what this is about. I'll take care of this. And the guy's like, this is 150. I'm like, no, that's
$1.50?
yeah. Somebody else on the staff actually rewrote it, crossed mine out. I'm like, can we do 150 then versus 350? Because I mean, it was a really nice big dresser. Like I said, bigger than mine. Same type of style and model, but like I said, much nicer than mine. But someone else actually wrote $1.50. I'm like, as you see here, sir, that's my handwriting. It's originally $3.50 because it's a high price dresser.
Wow. Yeah.
And he's like, so what are we gonna do? And I said, I'll compare with you. Are you willing to do 150? Half the price of $3.50. He's like, you know how they are. And he's just making me wait. And he's like, okay, 150 it is. I'm like, all right, you can take it. I even helped him load it up into his pickup truck. He's like, this will make my wife very happy. She's wanted this dress. You guys had this for a while. I'm like, well, yeah. Because it was at such a high price for so long that I just kept discounting it. But I still can't believe that someone else on our staff wrote $1.50. I'm like,
Yeah. No.
and everybody was like, who's in trouble? I'm like, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm not going to question which one of you did that. Just leave it alone. I'll let it go this time.
Yeah, especially when you sold it for half price. Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things.
Speaking of half price, how do you think?
Continue.
How do you think the Battle of Alberta is already living up to the hype with hockey? Oh my God!
Pretty good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we have not gone into that one right now. So you are talking about the Stanley Cup Finals. Series is tied, right, buddy?
Yes.
1-1, and some really exciting stuff, folks. Already, it's Carolina versus the New York Rangers, and the series is tied. I'm sorry, no, I apologize. No. In the series, Carolina needs the New York Rangers 2-0, and Calgary is ahead of Edmonton, right?
Yeah.
No, the series tied 1-1. No, I was right. It's 1-1. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So who?
I'm getting my story from is from JoeHaggerty.com. He's a reporter for most of NHL games. He said that on his website, he said, this is the most exciting that the Stanley Cup has ever been in almost 20 years. Especially in Game 1 between longtime rivals from Canada.
I don't know, folks. I don't know. That's Stanley Cup playoffs are genuinely exciting. I don't know what he means by that. Seriously, I've been watching the last few years, dude, and there's been some exciting series. I don't know what he's been watching, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, he went on to say the Edmonton Oilers and Calgary Flames sent out a message on Wednesday night's game of their game one of their second round series. That was a much watched playoff game, even if it was for late night television this week on Wednesday. Certainly, it was a game befitting the Battle of Alberta that was 31 years in the making.
Oh, yes.
But, of course, Wednesday night, late night, if you stayed up late night Wednesday to watch the game online or on television, especially all my friends up in Canada, I'm sure most of you all stayed up because it was, well, Canada. Actually, I take that back. I don't think any of my Canadian friends actually, even when they came here to California, like, we're going to bed. Like, well, I'm used to staying up all night. I can pull an all-nighter, kind of. But the Oilers fell behind 3-0 late Wednesday night. They ended up pulling the goalie, Mark Smith, from the game, but somehow climbed the way back to tie 6-6 before falling to eventual 9-6 score to the Calgary Flames. Again, Joe Haggerty said it was the first time in 15 years that both playoff teams scored more than 6 goals in the same game.
Yeah.
But you'd have to go back to the 90s to find both teams registered in that postseason game. I think I remember that, actually.
Oh, that's good because I don't remember that one. But there was history made in that one, man. Wow.
Yep. And things got a little heated too, so but we've talked about that a few weeks ago. You never know. Never know what can happen with hockey.
If he's still with us, Tony, thanks, buddy. Good luck. I hope you do well at the casino. Thank you. It's one of your rare off days. You commented about that, so that's good. Yeah, folks, there's some real good hockey going on right now. They're in the finals. I know I misspoke earlier when I talked about the Kings. They were in the divisionals, and they lost Game 7. Last weekend was incredible. There were 5?
5, yeah. No, wait, weren't there 4? I thought there were 4.
No, I think there were 3 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday.
Okay.
5 Game 7s, yes.
Yeah.
That was unreal, folks, over the weekend. That was... So I don't know where this guy says it hasn't been...
All right, Tony, enjoy your time. Have fun.
Yeah. It's really good stuff. Right now, the record that was set, Calgary Flames. Oh, did I get rid of that one? Yeah, I think I did, but the series is tied 1-1. Carolina is ahead on the other one, 2-0. And let me see. Tampa Bay leads Florida 2-0. And Game 6 is for Colorado St. Louis. Oh no, wait, that's way far in the future. Sorry. Anyway, it's good stuff going on, folks.
I took us back to the future, and you're trying to send us into the future way ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Today's the 21st. Yeah, sorry, folks. All right, well, we still had the others, so we're okay on those. A lot of playoff hockey going on right now. There was a record set, 6 goals. Wow, that's a lot, man. But on a team that's not setting any records or is setting records for stupid stuff, Aisha, thank you. I know she's got to go too. I hope your mom is doing well. Visit with her, of course, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Yeah, we're going to try to stay safe, and we'll see. If we see the big dog, we will let him know. Thanks, Aisha. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you for joining us early in the morning every Saturday.
Folks, everyone and anyone else, if you want to share with, remember, if you are on a personal page, we cannot read your comments or your likes or whatever. But if you do come over to our page on Facebook, which is NDB Media or Sports Talk with the Guys, we can see your comments. So we invite you to come over and join us there. And I'm going to see if I can get that link, facebook.com/NDB Media or Sports Talk with the Guys. Because I know Sports Talk with the Guys has a very long one. I'm talking about the link. There's the NDB Media one. Of course, we are on Twitch TV as well. You can check us out right there, folks. And we are on Twitch TV /NDB Media. Come on over. We can see all of your comments, and we appreciate it. But if you're like on my page, we don't see, due to privacy settings, we can go there and we can display stuff, but we cannot see your comments live right here. So, and going over there right now, Raul Lamelli, my cousin, thank you. He gave us a like on my personal page. Come on over to NDB Media. So if you guys want to, like I said, you guys want to watch us on Twitch TV, you can do so as well. And I guess that is a moment where we can put the links on. I'm verifying them right now. And there it is.
Yeah, the last few weeks, so you've been talking about your family members liking the page, and what, you're trying to make this the Noriega show now?
Well, on some of them, yes. So there it is, Twitch TV. You can check it out right there. And, of course, on NDB Media. Oops, that's Twitch TV. There it is. Let's do that one. There it is, facebook.com/NDB Media. So, a team that is not doing well in hockey, it's embarrassing. Arizona. The Arizona Coyotes. Wow, it's an embarrassment. They now have to play in a college stadium, but get this. They're not allowed to put their logo at center ice. The college has said you can't do that. Arizona State won't let the Coyotes use their logo at center ice in their embarrassing arena deal. As you know, they can't play the Arizona Coyotes' new arena deal is getting more and more embarrassing by the day. In case you missed it, the Coyotes will be playing their home hockey games for the foreseeable future at Arizona State University after their previous arena deal with the city of Glendale fell through. Yes, a professional NHL team will be playing 41 games a year in a college hockey arena for at least several seasons. On Tuesday, a report from the Athletics' Katie Strain and Sean Shapiro outlined a good behavior clause for the Coyotes and owner Alex Meruelo. In said clause, if the Coyotes become part of a public scandal or do anything untoward that reflects poorly on the ASU brand, the school will be able to back out of the deal. In the Athletics report, the clause states that anything that violates widely held principles of public morality, failing to conduct its business affairs with a high degree of integrity and honesty, and are failing to act as a good corporate citizen, would cause for the agreement's termination. Coffee says the NHL shouldn't allow the Coyotes to use the NHL logo either. The Coyotes have a history of having a less than favorable reputation across the league, from skimping on rent payments to the city of Glendale to knowingly drafting a player who admitted to racially abusing a classmate when he was 14. Arizona eventually walked back the pick and forfeited after the backlash from the hockey world at large. Also of note in this report is the Coyotes won't even be able to use their logo at center ice. That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow. But I like Coffee's comment. The NHL shouldn't even allow them. That's funny.
Yeah, that was funny. I wasn't able to stay up with that Wednesday night game because I had to be up early Thursday. But I was able last Saturday to stay up late and watch the game between the Carolina Hurricanes and Boston Bruins. The entire world Scorekeeper is talking about the insane ending to Game 7 here. Boston won the face-off and released a flurry of shots around the opposing goal. Ultimately, though, the Canes were able to clear the puck and advance to the next round with a 3-2 score, which was the final score. The NHL world took to Twitter to react with this wild finish. Wow, what a finish between the Bruins and Hurricanes. Gave it 7 weekends off to a strong start, one fan said. What a final 20 seconds of madness, another fan said. What a finish here in Carolina. Boston had 2-3 good looks in the last 15 seconds to tie the game, someone else said. And the Canes are moving to the second round after their huge Game 7 victory. And, that was wild in itself. I couldn't believe it either watching that.
Yeah, I was watching the first part of that game. I missed the ending, and that was my fault, man. I blew it big time. Sorry, I had to respond to a future guest. I haven't had. I'm like talking to 4 people right now. I'm so sorry. I do admit, all of a sudden there's like no activity, and now we're talking to quite a few people. I'm sorry. We have people that are going to be joining the network very soon. So we, once again, as you know, Michael Jan Friedman confirmed. You can look him up. New York Times bestselling author. He's going to be joining us on. I can't get any information from the Kings website, man. What's going on? No love. Yes, I know the Kings were eliminated last round, but it's just funny that I can't get any information out of them right now. That's why I thought it was funny that I'm wearing. Hey, Coffee, you got to put your uniform on, dude. Put it on Facebook, Coffee. Come on, man. Let's see. Coffee has quite a few things collection, and he has shared stuff with me over the years, and I do appreciate it, Coffee. I haven't had a chance to converse with Coffee for a while. A lot of it is due to tax season. And I miss talking with everyone, folks, but I disappear for 4 months. But everyone knows I disappear. So, I appreciate these contacts that we have with everyone. And I believe Coffee might be moving to Seattle. So I'm looking forward. I was kind of hoping to see him this summer in Minnesota, but I think he's going to move to Seattle before. So if I don't head up to Seattle before, I'm already planning October. I'm going to go meet with a classmate that I haven't seen in like forever. And I'm going to spend some days out in Seattle. I'll see Chris Smith again, and that'll be fun. Oh, he says, I'm here for a bit. Oh, yeah, I think he's going. So I think I'm not going to get a chance to see you before you go. I was kind of hoping for that, but he's okay. Dude, if you get to Seattle, we'll be spending some time. I know some people think that's a threat, but whatever. I was watching Boardwalk Empire, season 4. And for those of you that remember, it was on HBO. It's a good program, in my humble opinion. And Nucky Thompson was going to meet with someone down in Tampa. And the guy said, dude, he's really excited to meet you. Yeah, most people are until they meet me. Oh, man, I love that line. I'm going to be using that line. Dude, they're excited to meet you. Yeah, they haven't met me yet.
Yeah, really.
Oh, man, I thought that was a great line. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Hey, folks, I'm just glad I'm done with negotiations. I'm tired, man. 6 days. Ugh. It was difficult. It was hard. But yet I was negotiating. I shouldn't point down when I say that. I was negotiating right here in the office on Zoom calls. It sucked, though, having to be here 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. You have to have your camera on to know what's going on. Some people would turn it off, but I left my camera on. Well, I don't know if it was on Wednesday night or Thursday. I fell asleep during the Zoom call. And the sergeant at arms, I can see in the video, he sent me a text. Dude, wake up. I was like, oh my God. and he's on video, and you know the video you can see up to like 25 people, and he's pointing at me when I woke up. I was like, oh my god, I was so embarrassed. And I said, dude, did I snore? No, you didn't snore, but it was obvious you fell asleep. Oh man, because I'm here doing this, and I have my TV up here. So if I'm watching TV, you can tell I'm watching, but there was a point where apparently I slumped down. Like, oops.
Yeah, people ask me about that too. They're like, "So you fell asleep, huh, during the game?" This was like back in 2010 when I fell asleep during the Giants.
How the hell did that happen?
I don't know. It must have been from a long day at work. And sometimes people still ask, like, do you snore? I'm like, what kind of question is that? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I don't know. You don't know if you snore or not? People, I live alone. I don't know what the heck I'm doing when I'm sleeping.
That's funny.
I don't know what I'm doing when I'm sleeping, so how would I know if I'm snoring? The logic of that, it still never makes sense. But you know what does make sense? Is that Todd Gurley is part owner of the fan-controlled football league for the FC, for the FCF Beast.
Mm-hmm.
So it was announced yesterday that he has become part owner of the Beast.
Oh, okay.
And we'll see how long this lasts for him. Because you never know.
The insensitive, sexist animal that I am, Todd Gurley. Come on. Actually, there was this girl I went to school with in middle school, and her name was Nancy Puckett. She's a nice girl, very nice, but I just always thought her last name was, I died laughing. I never laughed in her face, and I never told anyone else, but I just thought her name was so amusing. Puckett. And then you had Kirby Puckett. But her name was Nancy Puckett. She had a bit of a country twang, so I thought it was kind of a Puckett. That was a country name. Gridiron Grill, good morning. I am having Pac-Man. Look. I am having a Smucker's Unscrutables. And Gridiron Girl, thank you for joining. I'm so happy that you're joining us right now. I wanted to extend an invite to you on June 11th. Dreem will be here, and hopefully you will as well. And I already have it set up where I have a camera and a microphone. You guys can see it over here. I know you can still hear me. You can't see it, but the camera's there. And I have the headset. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another computer there with another headset. So we're all going to be able to be here live, but we'll all have a good sound. So Gridiron Girl, you have an invite to join us on Sports Talk with the Guys on that Saturday. And we're going to be really dumb and stupid. So come on over. Don't worry. We'll get a designated driver for you, kiddo. And we're probably going to be drinking early in the morning, which is really going to be stupid, but that's what we're going to do. So hopefully you'll be able to join us for Sports Talk with the Guys. Because Dreem joined us for another program, and now he's going to be joining Sports Talk with the Guys. And I still have to talk to Matthew and see if he would be available that weekend, because sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. But it'd be cool. Yeah, but he doesn't fly.
No.
Yeah.
Terrible. Hi, Gridiron Girl. How you doing?
So, but I'm having an inscrutable. Yeah. Oh, Uncrustables. Inscrutable.
I'm having little candy Hershey's right now.
Have you finished it yet? Have you even bitten into it?
You know what the noise you've been hearing is this the whole time?
Oh, I'm sympathetic to you, and you've been chowing down all this time. Every
Yeah.
time you block the camera. Good for you. Good for you. I'm impressed. All right. Well, speaking of being impressed, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the Sports Illustrated edition is out or has been announced. And Kim Kardashian, 74-year-old Maya Musk are the cover of the 2022 Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. So the edition is out. Here, I'm going to put a link in the chat room. I'm going to have the edition, but it's not paper anymore. It's digital now, so whatever. But we might do a special edition for the Sports Illustrated, as we used to do on Maxim Mondays and the Daily 15. And what we do is we get the Sports Illustrated edition, and it's the paper. That way everyone can follow on. And all we do is yay or nay. And it's quite obvious what it means. And you get some insight from everyone as to whether we would or wouldn't, which is really kind of stupid if they make the Sports Illustrated edition, but whatever. And we did the Maxim ones. And again, a shout out to my coworker, Ashley. I'm not going to give her full name. It's not fair. But she was a team player when we did the Maxim Mondays. God, that was so hilarious.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yuck. I kind of figured that's what it was. And I agree. But whatever. Yeah. So Ciara's going to be on there as well. Let's see who else. And Maya Musk, who's in her 70s, which is kind of interesting. So we'll see. And I know that New is going to be on there as well. And we'll see. I'm not sure when the article is out. It just... it was the 19th. Wow.
That was Thursday. Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, Fred. I'm doing very well.
I wonder if I already have that one on. I remember Maxim Monday. Oh, yeah. Well, we were stupid little kids, man. It was once a month. We had the Maxim magazine issue. And folks, the only reason why I was receiving Maxim was because we went to visit my daughter's godfather, Peter, not the big dog. He was over in Oxnard, and he had an issue of Maxim, and not 7 of 9, but the character that played Jolene Blaylock was on the cover, and I read it, and I was reading the article about her, and my buddy sent me a year subscription for Maxim, and I kept it ever since. Talk about softcore porn, man. Softcore porn. So we would bring in the magazine of Maxim, and we would just do yay or nay. And it was funny because it was predominantly a male. It was a male-generated audience, and Ashley played along. Oh, that was so funny. So I don't know if okay, I'm going to check out my Kindle and see if I already have it on there. Wow. But I'm going to look up for it right now, so I forget. She remembers Maxim Monday. She's not happy about it. I'm so sorry.
Well, since you brought up women, I'll transition us into that now because there's a new Netflix show called Halftime. And the show will feature Jennifer Lopez. Yes, she's an actor, she's a dancer, and she's also a singer. But she only has one favorite NFL team, she has told Netflix and other websites. But it's, it's kind of a secret, but then again, not when Netflix released the trailer of her show. It's in the trailer. Jennifer Lopez is actually alluding with her jersey and with her words, yes, they made a touchdown. I love them. And it's for the Jets. So this is not really a secret. I mean, she claimed it was, but like I said, now that the Netflix released the trailer of this show, or maybe it's just a teaser and maybe she's not really a Jet fan, Scorekeeper. I don't know. So it'd be interesting to see what type of NFL team she likes. Who knows?
Yeah, I have it as active on my account, but I'm not able to. Okay, I don't see that edition available at the moment.
Coffee said, "Oh, that's nice." Coffee said. The only magazine I get is Ford Network magazine.
I guess I'm going to have to check my Kindle.
Yeah, you might want to do that because you might accidentally order the same book twice or three times. You never know.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not. I don't see it at the moment, so I'm gonna have to check it out. But all right, so he gets the Food Network, which is really cool. I'm a little disappointed that I'm not able to see it right here, right now. So, whatever. Okay, well, it is what it is. All right, folks. We are doing real well. Good morning, Nick. Thank you for the like. Appreciate it, young man. And we'll see. So I hope you're doing well, Mr. Nick Valente, who runs a wonderful program on the East Coast. He has the Quad Coalition of Sciences. You may want to check it out on Facebook. I'm not sure if they have a website, but look them up right there, the Quad Coalition of Sciences. Really good stuff right there. So anyway, Speedy, is there anything else you want to get to right now? I know we've covered quite a bit. I do have, in addition to Sports Illustrated magazine, which we already talked about, being the sexist animal that I am, I don't know if you heard, but apparently U.S. soccer has reached a landmark deal with the women's soccer team. They're now on equal pay. And congratulations to them. Really good stuff. So U.S. soccer and its women's and men's national teams announced landmark new contracts Wednesday that will pay the squads equally, including a split of World Cup prize money. That means, the guys are going to get more from the girls because the girls win more often. The deals are the culmination of a decades-long fight by the U.S. women's national team and U.S. soccer's most successful and visible team for equal compensation and fair treatment, and further recognition by the Federation that American soccer is stronger when everyone is united. Midge Purse, a member of the U.S. Women's National Bargaining Committee, said, "It's very rewarding. For me, I feel very humbled to join this fight that has been going on for years before I even touched the ball, before I was born, actually." And says, I'm really proud of the work that's been done. A lot of gifted people came together to put together something very special. So under the new deal, this year's pool for the U.S. women's national team would be $7.2 million, a 54% increase from 2018. That includes a 68% increase to $120,000 in what players could earn just from this summer's World Cup qualifying tournament. It's good stuff. It's about time. The new collective bargaining agreement runs through 2028, ensuring labor peace for 2 World Cup cycles. That is no small thing considering the U.S. is co-hosting the 2026 men's tournament with Canada and Mexico. Everyone who cares about our sport should share in this pride as we look forward to working together to grow soccer for generations to come. Wow. Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. So, let me see. What are the TV ratings like? The girls should probably get paid more than the guys. Traditionally, the men draw more, but the women win more.
Right. Yeah.
And it's been that way for a while now. I mean, when Trinidad and Tobago take you out, come on, man. That's who took out the U.S. men's team, remember? They didn't die on that hill. They died on that island. Trinidad and Tobago took them out in 2018. How embarrassing.
He also went on to say the boys are bad. They will get ripped apart by the Euro teams in Qatar.
Which, by the way,
you might be right about that.
Well, the World Cup is because it's in, the Middle East this year and it gets very hot. The World Cup will begin on Monday, November 21st, which is Thanksgiving week. And I have already requested those 3 days off myself and my coworker because we love watching the World Cup. And for those of you that know and don't know, the World Cup goes for a month. And it starts on the 21st, round one. And then the World Cup on December 3rd begins the round of 16. So 32 down to 16. And then you start off on December 6th. It'll end the World Cup round of 16. And then the quarterfinals begin on December 9th through the 10th. And then the semis on December 13th and 14th. And then the third place game is on December 17th. And then, of course, the World Cup final is on Sunday, the 18th. So, as he just said earlier, which is from Coffee, the boys are bad. They will get ripped apart by the Euro teams in Qatar. There are some good teams this year, man. And I know the American team is better, but I don't see much joy yet. I do not see an American team being able. There's too many teams. They can beat up on some of the smaller teams, some of the teams from Africa, some of the teams from the United States. But I remember when Cameroon made its debut in the 90s or the early 2000s. Man, those guys were dangerous. They could run forever and just pound the ball against some teams. If they ever get a technical to guide them and they get a few shooters, I think Cameroon down the road could be extremely dangerous. No, they're not the only ones. So, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, after 20 years together on Fox, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman left the network to join the ESPN and Monday Night Football crew.
Yeah.
And despite being excited for their new journey together, Troy Aikman opened up about the hardest part of leading Fox for him, saying goodbye to their longtime sideline reporter, Erin Andrews. He said that was the toughest call I had to make was to Erin to tell her I'm leaving. He said because she was like a sister to me and Joe, to both of us. The move was also difficult for Andrews too because she previously admitted that she cried a lot once the news broke because she wasn't expecting them to leave. The trio all three worked together for 10 years straight. Andrews worked 3 Super Bowls with both Buck and Aikman. So it's going to be an interesting season once the NFL season starts.
Oh, I do have it. There it is. There's a swimsuit edition.
Oh, you have it.
I will be checking that one out. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a special on the swimsuit edition. Who knows? We'll see. So, folks, I want to make sure to remind everyone, we hope the big dog is doing well, and he will be joining us soon. Almighty, I know, is attending to some issues as well, and I hope he's able to join us soon enough. And I've really grown used to spending time. I mean, I've known the big dog since 1988, May of 1988 to be exact, and I look forward to being able to see. The big dog is not done with Sports Talk with the guys. I need you guys to understand that. So I've already received a few comments about why don't I come clean and admit the big dog has left. Yeah, it's okay. He has not. And there's just personal things he's dealing with. So we'll see. Yes, thank you, Coffee. Yeah, I'd forgotten his name. Yes, if they were to get luck, I'm telling you, man, they are a known quantity. And thank you, Coffee, for that. That's a dangerous team, man. If they could, like I said, if they could get some shooters, it would be some. But they're dangerous as it is. It's a good team. They're trained well, and if they can make the jump to the next level, wow. They're a fun team to watch, folks. I'm sorry. There are other fun teams to watch, but Africa is becoming much more not just showing up, but yeah, they've got skin in the game, for lack of a better word, and they can upset you if you're not on your A game. So, Speedy, what else did you want to get to? I think I've covered everything that I wanted to get to. So I don't know if you have other items.
We covered a lot, and now we're going to cover everything in wrestling because this week was crazy. It was wild. Covington.
Yeah, Senegal. I forgot about that. Yeah, and he's right. Senegal. Yeah, I forgot about those boys. Yeah, Cameroon and Senegal. Yeah, go ahead.
He thinks they're a very scary team. Okay, well, you say so.
Yes, I would agree with Coffee on that one. It's really cool. We're actually on the same page, Coffee. Something's wrong, dude. Something's wrong. We're on the same page. Well, actually, we were also for Arizona as well, so go figure. We did the trifecta today, Coffee. Two of the best players in the Premier League are from there. Folks, like I said, Coffee is one of a kind, man. And when he revealed to me that he was also AB positive, I was like, I get it, because I'm AB positive, and so is he. As he said, that we have the blood-sucking blood, or the vampire blood. It means that we can take anyone's blood, but ours is no good unless you're AB positive. So that's why we're the vampire blood. I was like, I like it. But I think we're better off than O negative, or whichever one it is. That one is very rare, but that's neither here nor there. Speedy, please.
Okay, well, no more interruption, please. And maybe you and Coffee can... It sounds like you guys would both be good vampires or whatever.
We are!
I know you are, but you didn't let me finish my sentence. That's what I'm talking about. Interruptions. You can both play vampires and all that in maybe the new HBO TV show series The Last of Us, or, Resident Evil. Hey, yeah, I would love to see you guys both in Resident Evil. I'm not sure if Coffee would be down for that, but hey, you guys would both be on the big screen for Resident Evil. Yeah, let's go through this, because like I said, it was a crazy week. Last night, after AEW's Rampage show went off the air, and you can look this up on YouTube yourself and decide for yourself if this was a work or a shoot, depending on your perspective, because as the main event broke down, even though the commentators were screaming about everything going on, yet once that faded out, things got interesting, which led to it being chaotic. Eddie Kingston gets paired up with beating the crap out of Chris Jericho. And in the process, somehow, Bryan Danielson's leg got stuck in between the stage and the ring, which if you've seen AEW before, you can obviously look it up on YouTube how they have their setup, and Bryan Danielson was clearly shown on multiple videos saying, "No, let's work it. Let's work it." In other words, let's make the fans buy into what's really going on here. And it's not the first time he's done this. He's done this when ROH was their own company years ago, where he just comes out and acts like he's injured, but then magically he can walk. Well, barely. You should just go back and watch last night's Bryan Danielson injury update. It's all over YouTube, all over Twitter, and other social media video platforms. People were also legitimately upset about last night's angle on SmackDown with Roman Reigns actually interfering in the tag team match with the way Jimmy Uso had gotten Randy Orton through the table, off the announcer's table. But the fact that it looked too real, and we'll see whether or not he's legitimately injured or not. I would imagine he is. I mean, he wouldn't be after going through the announcer's table. And I'm sure most of you woke up on Tuesday morning not expecting it. I certainly wasn't. Expect the unexpected. When all of us woke up and saw the message from Stephanie McMahon herself that because her husband Triple H, Paul Levesque, actually went back to work in WWE corporate head offices, she's going to step out of her role. Vince McMahon has named Nick Khan to take over her duties while she's taking time off to take care of her family and Triple H at this time. So, who knows how long that's going to last, and best of luck to her for taking time off and taking care of their daughters and making sure Triple H doesn't have another health scare incident. Drake Wart. Yes, a lot of talk. Everybody knows who this referee is. I certainly do as well. There's multiple pictures of me and him together. He's a good friend of mine, but this week he was fooled by a prankster who had posed as CM Punk, even asking for an interview. And I don't know what Drake's thinking was, but we had multiple conversations about this before, along with everybody else up here in APW land. And I've been talking with others who don't follow wrestling that, you know, when we broke the story here on Sports Talk with the guys back in January, that you have to be extremely, extremely careful nowadays because anything can happen. Remember when the NFL sent out the whole QR code thing was a prank, and it was also a scam. Well, Drake didn't pay attention to the guy actually admitting that, well, I'm not really CM Punk. I don't know why he didn't read that part. This guy gets an interview with him, and it goes over well, and he goes, yeah, you're talking with CM Punk. But never actually realizing, wait, you're not CM Punk. I know CM Punk's voice. That's not you. This interview is over. We're done. But he actually went through the interview where the interviewer was like, you got pranked. I don't know how that's happened, but you know. Then in other news, last night on SmackDown, from another promotion to another promotion, the former NWA World Champion, I don't know what happened in the NWA, but something happened and it had to be good, where the former LA Knight made his SmackDown debut, but with a new name. You know, this is where I was hiding at, ladies and gentlemen, that when you make your debut, you're not going to actually get to use your name you were using on the independent circuit. When you get called up to the main roster, you will most likely, by order of Vince, will have to get a new name. And he told Adam last night on SmackDown, my name is Max Dupree. And Adam, of course, said, okay, well, nice to meet you, Max Dupree. He goes, no. It's Max Dupree. Which kind of sounded familiar, doesn't it? Why would WWE do this? Well, I think it's to make fun of the former Raw Resistance tag team. Remember? With their rambunctious actions and how much they had to use their accents to get over with the crowd. Now the former LA Knight from the NWA is now Max Dupree. I wouldn't even try and do the accent because I'm not French in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, we.
Oh, see? Scorekeeper could probably do it. And the reason why that segment between him and Adam went on so long was because LA Knight is kind of like me. He has a problem rolling those R's and all the other syllables to try and have an accent. This is bad booking on WWE's part when you're trying to force a talent who doesn't quite have that ability to do an accent. That's like me trying to play a Russian mob member. I would never get that language down at all. Number one, I don't speak the language. Number two, I'm not actually Russian. Which is kind of funny, considering that our youngest brother out of the five of us, he's the only Mexican scorekeeper that actually lives in Scotland, remember. But, 2 years ago, we finally were able to video chat with each other. And somewhere along the way, he was doing the same thing I'm doing now. But when I video chatted with him 2 years ago, it was scary, Scorekeeper. He's been there for at least 2.5, 3 years, maybe 4 years now. And him and his wife in Scotland now have a little girl. Congratulations, Beavis, you did it. But he picked up the accent. As we're having this video chat, I'm like, wait. He goes, what? What's wrong? I go, why are you talking like you're in Scotland? He goes, that's where I am. I go, no. You're not listening to what I said. Little brother, you have actually picked up the accent perfectly. I guess that's what happens when you live in Scotland so long. And he goes, no, I'm talking normal as I've always talked. I'm like, if Mom was alive, she would probably tell you the same thing right now, watching you during video chat. You've got the Scottish accent. He goes, no, I don't. I'm like, okay, well. And I had him make a video so that all of our old friends here could see it. And they were like, he kind of does and kind of doesn't. I'm like, what do you mean he kind of does and kind of doesn't? Maybe their hearing is off. Maybe my hearing is off. I don't know. Maybe I'll send that video to Scorekeeper and see what he thinks.
Sure.
And of course, after SmackDown went off the air, Bianca Belair took on Rhea Ripley in a dark match, which may or may not lead to new opponents taking place at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. We'll get to that in a second as to why. Becky Lynch on Raw, it claims it was her idea that she pitched to the creative team because they couldn't decide between creative and Vince McMahon. Well, who should win and who should lose? I don't know. I can't think right now. And Becky said, you know what? I'll make this easy for you guys. And for you, Vince. Why don't I lose to Asuka in the most unnatural way that I've never lost before in my life? Which is where the green mist comes into play. If you watch this on Raw this week, you know what I'm talking about. She tried to use the disarmer, but got caught up in the moment with a fan at ringside, several of them. And then when she turned around, Asuka kicked her in the face and gave her the green mist, and, well, Asuka now advances. And this goes back to the whole Bianca Belair situation with taking on Rhea Ripley in a dark match, because, of course, everyone is talking about this, because this is all apparently related to Sasha Banks and Naomi doing a legitimate walkout hours before they were to perform on Monday Night Raw. They were set to be in the main event, not Asuka and Becky. And some people are like, well, is this a work or is this for real? What is the story here? And some people are like, well, WWE's not going to publicize this at all. Oh, they did. They did. If you go back and you watch Monday Night Raw, Corey Graves had said on commentary, this is a desperate time for us right now as a company going forward. Sasha Banks and Naomi went to our head of talent relations, and they left titles on his desk, and they left because they were mad about not getting what they deserved. And it was very, very unprofessional of them. Corey went on to say, we don't appreciate this. And, of course, people are like, well, why would you say something like that? What is your problem, Corey? No. This is not coming directly from Corey. If you go back and watch Raw and watch how sternly he said it, you could tell the sternness was actually coming through his headset from Vince McMahon. So don't put the blame on Corey or the other announcers. This was coming directly from Vince McMahon to let the world know. They are suspended indefinitely. I mean, the last time we had a real live walkout was in 2002 when Steve Austin decided, well, he was going to take his ball and go home for real. Remember that? And he was gone for 7 or 8 months. And, of course, then 2014, CM Punk walked out too, but that wasn't really that special. This, though, on the other hand, I don't know what their gripe was, but I don't see a reason for it because they were clearly going to main event Raw. I mean, you can't get any better than that. So we'll see where the story goes from here. Because now this puts Vince McMahon and the creative team in a terrible slot, which leads them to the same thing that it led them to back in 2002 when Steve Austin walked out. What are we going to do about our main event? How are we going to fit all this together now? We had a storyline planned, and with walking out, it's just all been ruined and flushed down the toilet. Do we save these storylines for later, or do we just throw them in the garbage? And with Steve Austin, they ultimately scratched that and threw those in the garbage. So it looks like now that, well, Bianca Belair, as I said, she took on Rhea Ripley after SmackDown went off the air. And I believe she won the dark match. Becky Lynch lost to Asuka. So all four of these women could potentially be the new participants, because Corey Graves also said that per Vince McMahon, this was before Raw went off the air, per Vince McMahon, and this is why I say you can't blame Corey, because he did say, per Vince McMahon, the women's tag team titles are now vacant, which probably means we're going to have some type of fatal four-way, or actually it was supposed to be a six-pack challenge on Raw. That was the main event. Where all these women were going to be in this huge tag team match, and things were going to go from there. But that didn't happen because Sasha and Naomi walked out, claiming they had been mistreated and were pissed off. I don't know. And, well, I'm sure Big Dawg would not approve of this if he was here with us right now, because Ric Flair and Wendy Balor are back together. Remember the last time it got very heated, and we all know Ric Flair obviously drinks too much. And he said some words a few years ago to her that really were not so in kind, and she said, that's enough, I've had enough of this relationship, I'm out of here. So what brought them back together? Kind of interesting. I'll keep you all updated on that. Speaking of updates, more and more things are coming together for AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. And according to Scoops.com, there are still plenty of tickets available to go to the world's famous place in all the world, Scorekeeper. That's right, Double or Nothing will take place in Sin City in Las Vegas. I switched over just in time to see that. Yeah, coffee. Red Rooster versus the Brooklyn Brawler. Well, only problem with that is they're not women, so.
Answering coffee.
Yeah, okay. Edge has teased the new name for the Judgment Day pay-per-view, or for his new faction. It doesn't make sense why he mentioned that. And even though Judgment Day to some, as you all remember from the VHS days, that was their opening pay-per-view before the Royal Rumble. And pay-per-views now produced by WWE are it doesn't seem like they're doing too well as far as profits go. Why do I say that? Because I was out at Walmart yesterday because I had Scorekeeper. My tires are old in my car, so I got 2 new ones, and I'll get the other 2 later on for a very good, reasonable price here in the area that I found at a tire shop. So while they worked on my car, I did shopping at Walmart. And the day one pay-per-view is only $12 versus what pay-per-view used to cost on DVD. Pay-per-views on DVD used to be around 50 or 60, even $70. Or 25 if you get that far. Especially with today's product. Because what I hold in my hand right now, ladies and gentlemen, there it is, Scorekeeper. Ladies and gentlemen, sometime today, I will be throwing this in my DVD player and watching it. That movie was very expensive to buy. Well, actually, I didn't personally spend that much money. My neighbor down the hall that I went to Disneyland with in 2016, he has a thing for Blu-ray, so when you buy DVDs now, the Blu-ray usually comes with the original DVD. So what we've done in the past few years is either him or I will buy a movie that we saw in theaters and go, oh, I like that movie, that was awesome. And we'll go to Walmart or some random place like Best Buy, who knows. He'll keep the Blu-ray because he obviously has a Blu-ray player, but he'll give me the regular DVD copy. And why would he need 2 of them, right? So that's what we do, and of course he couldn't figure out why that was, and I told him too, like, dude, let me buy it because it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's going to be about $25, $30. He's like, no, I'll get it. You got the tires to worry about. That's more expensive. I'm like, okay, true. But then last week he was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Like, what? He goes, I should have listened to you. I'm like, well, that's not the news. Nobody would ever listen to Matt Alvarez.
It's not true.
All right, it's half true. I'm like, why? What's wrong? He goes, they almost charged me almost about $30. They gave it to me for $26. I'm like, well, of course. And I just laughed. He's like, what's so funny? I'm like, how many times have I told you on occasion? This is California, not Kentucky. We don't get tax breaks like other states. Yes, watching Scorekeeper be speechless was priceless. Let me just say that right now.
That was funny.
But it's true. I mean, other places, you don't get charged more, which is why one day, I would love to make the drive back to Reno. People up there are so nice versus here. I mean, I almost had a major car accident on Thursday. Because some idiot came flying down my street, then another car came in and wouldn't let me into the lane because in the middle of the street, they have a lane marker. So, split the traffic up. It goes like this, and the next lane over, and the next lane over from this side is opposite. And the guy behind me is honking at me. I'm like, so I honk back at him. It's not my fault that the idiot didn't let me in. I'm trying to get in the traffic, not cause a traffic accident. Right, we all saved ourselves a headache from that one. Then that would have been a he said, she said, he said type of thing with 3 cars. So, And in other news, Renee Paquette, for whatever reason, she will, let's just say, she now knows the meaning of BBC and says she will never tweet out those words again. All of it in support of her husband, John Moxley. She said, I had a rude awakening looking things up on the internet. She was actually trying to tweet out BBC because her husband is part of the Black Bull Combat Club, which is their acronym. Their acronym that AEW gave them is BBC, and everyone was like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. She said, little sweet innocent me didn't actually know what that meant. She said, I was in tears on my couch. I thought it was funny. I just simply tweeted it out, which to me made it look very funny. But it can be sketchy when you start to Google something like that on your phone. After all, as Scorekeeper learned earlier, you all witnessed it live here on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Our phones are always listening. And then it starts to give you suggestions. That was the moment when she tweeted it out on April 27th. I like BBC. RJ City went on and accused her of working an angle, saying he found it very hard to believe that this is news to her due to her long tenure of working with media and the internet. He said, you know, BBC is an interpretation of Dick. And you can see my video here, this is from RJ City, saying that you can see my video here as it relates to Randy Orton's wife, Kim, talking about the Viper and his manhood. As Gabriel Iglesias once said on his comedy show, take your time, you'll figure that out. Shouldn't be that hard, though. Which is why she said she will never tweet that out again. Come on, Coffee. You know better than that. You know damn well it has nothing to do with the British Broadcasting Company. Even though I just referenced Rock City's video that he has apparently of Randy Orton's wife talking about his dick. BBC. The same terminology for men. Come on, Coffee. Can't believe it took Coffee this long to figure that out.
Yeah.
Okay, Coffee, thank you for that information. Coffee wants me to share with everyone that he was listening to the radio the other day. Apparently, Carmen Electra. That's right, Scorekeeper. Yes, that Carmen Electra. It's hard for attention, so much so that she now only has an OnlyFans account. Okay, well, thank you for breaking my wrestling feed for that. And back to the whole walkout situation. Mickie James, among others, are actually applauding Sasha Banks and Naomi for standing up for what Mickie James says they're standing up for their rights and their beliefs. I don't know if this is about rights or beliefs. I don't know what this is, and as I said earlier, I don't know what this is going to make regarding the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and they were supposed to make a big splash in the main event on Raw, but that didn't happen, and I mean, like I said, everybody's talking about this. Raquel Rodriguez is sending a bold message to the other talent on SmackDown and abroad, to the entire women's division. After going toe-to-toe with Ronda Rousey last week on SmackDown, the former NXT champion made her main roster debut after being on NXT for 2 years. After being interviewed on The Bump, they asked her what she's going to do now, and she stated, "I'm here to make sure the female locker room will not make the mistake of taking me lightly here." Saying, quote, that I'm not here just to be played with. I'm here to mess women up. So, that is crazy. Alistair Overeem plans to make his pro wrestling debut against Braun Strowman sometime in June. And of course, last week I didn't have a date for you, but now I do. He wants to wrestle Braun Strowman on June 4th. And you might say, well, Alistair Overeem, why does that name sound familiar? Because it's the same guy that was in NXT previously from 2017 to 2018. And then during the pandemic, he was released from NXT. Remember, he was released for telling WWE that the sport is gay and lame. And he no longer wants no part of it. So why does he want this match with Braun Strowman on June 4th? After calling the sport lame? Remember, he was also released back in March of last year from UFC, where he was TKO'd by Alexander. And trying to make a name for himself and Demolition Man again, but Vince McMahon told him he couldn't use that name and that he was not welcome back. Probably because Demolition Man had already been a name used once before in WWE. And so, it's just really, really crazy. But you know what the main thing is crazy? Is that Vince McMahon and Linda McMahon, yes, the two leading forces behind WWE, they own it. Maybe Scorekeeper can afford this. They're selling their mansion for $4 million.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, their Stanford penthouse has just been put up for sale. It features 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. The condo is 3,351 square feet. And it's one of the highest priced condoms in Connecticut.
Well, I'm sorry, what? Condos.
Condominiums, excuse me.
Oh.
Condominiums. I got the word wrong.
Yeah.
The big thing is, well, this next line goes back to that word, though. So, it's neither here or there, so call it whatever you want.
Condos.
The McMahon's condo is the tallest building in Stamford, Connecticut, as of now. It's on the corner of Broad and Washington Boulevard. Remember, it was formerly known as the Trump Stanford when Donald Trump joined the project. but was renamed the Condo Board after the 2021 storming of the United States Capitol. They're selling it because the company announced that it will sell Titan Towers after using the same facility as its global headquarters for more than 30 years. WWE plans to move to a new location at 677 Washington Boulevard, which in proximity is like 30 minutes the opposite direction. I mean, they could have eventually, I don't know. I guess Scorekeeper, after the pandemic, I mean, there's a lot of people that prefer to move to cheaper places, but they don't mind commuting. Like, I have friends that live in Turlock and Merced and all those areas out there, and Tracy, California as well. They live out there now, but they still commute here to the Bay Area, which for them is like a 20 to 45-minute drive. Would you do that, Scorekeeper, or would you just move somewhere else and then still commute back to the same area where you currently live at now?
How long is the commute? That's the question.
Well, that's why I just gave you the example. Some friends of mine, they live in Tracy or Livermore, places like that, but their commute is now like 20 to 40 minutes back and forth between where they live, where it's much nicer and quieter, and it's cheaper to rent or buy anything, but they still want to work out here, where it's much busier and noisier and crazier.
Okay, well, look, here's why I'm leaving my job in March 28, 2024. I'm tired of the commute. I do 32 miles one way, 32 miles the other way. I'm tired. So if you ask me, I'm looking to reduce my commute. So that would be my answer. I don't know if it goes in line with your point, but yeah, I'm done. I don't want to drive anymore. I suppose if I were younger and the circumstances were right, I would, but I don't want to. Not anymore.
Now that answers it. Case in point. I mean, who knows? Let's be honest.
What the?
I don't plan to live in this crazy apartment life forever. Got to get out of here at some point.
Yeah.
People here are driving me crazy, Scorekeeper.
I believe it. I do. Even from where we're at now, we're not going to buy. We had a chance to purchase a house here. The landlord, psycho, reconsidered, and is not going to sell the property after all. So we're gone. In 2024, I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm gone. We have a chance to go to Lake Elsinore. If you guys want to look it up, it's northeast of Lake Elsinore. And my nephew has property there, and yeah, probably going to get the property from him, put a house there, and that's it. But I'm not going to commute. It's like 70 miles one way to my present job. It's not going to happen. Even taking the train, it's not going to happen. Because there is a train within 10 miles, but it's already a 2.5-hour train trip. Not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, now that you brought that up, it's like what some of my friends used to do here. You and Big Dawg have been up here to witness the commute from here to San Francisco just for a wrestling show. That's what a lot of my friends were doing. Whether they were in real estate or banking, they would actually do that commute Scorekeeper, they would drive from here to San Francisco,
Yeah.
or they would do the opposite, leave their cars at a BART station and take the train all the way to San Francisco. But then they would get home and be like, I'm tired. You do the cooking. I'm going to bed. Well, then why do you commute? I'm glad my job is only down the street. So maybe one day I can affordably rent a house. Now, if it's 10 minutes more, then I'll be okay with it. If it's next door in Hayward, then I'll be okay with that too, because I only have to go 3 exits over off the freeway. There. Coffee said, oh, come on, Scorekeeper. Nobody likes a quitter.
Yeah, whatever.
So, the whole Titan Tower thing was supposed to happen last year. Well,
Yeah, it is absurd what he's talking about, the commute.
A lot of things were supposed to happen last year and the year before, but because of 2020, a lot of things got pushed back.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Yes, Coffee, I don't think I've ever agreed with you until just now. Yeah, maybe the day will come when AEW does buy out WWE, because after what I just described, Sasha and Naomi walking out, they're constantly moving up talent from NXT to the main roster with no real plan, and then they squash them. And remember back in October, where I demonstrated live on the air with a bunch of old paper that I'm not using anymore. And what did I do live? I ripped all those papers up to show you guys that's what Vince does. I don't like the story. And he just rips up the paper to shreds, rewrite the whole story. We're starting over. But the one guy they haven't buried is Braun Baker. And probably because he's Scott Steiner's son. But everybody else, they're like, okay, well, you're moving up to Raw. You're being called up to SmackDown. Chop, chop. Let's go. But that now leaves less talent than what Triple H had started with when he started in NXT. And, well, now with his recent health problems, I guess they were like, this is our doing now. We know, Paul, we know it was your idea, but this is where we take over. Well, then, that's why nobody really tunes into NXT. I can tell you that for damn sure. Because they're just basically going through the motions, and like every week you've seen Braun Baker come out, and he's waiting for quite a while for his opponent to come out, because everybody backstage at Gorilla is like, wait, who did we have him set up with this week? We don't even know. Well, you moved everybody up to Raw and SmackDown. So yeah, there's a whole predictability that they themselves could be throwing themselves out of business. But then again, Vince being Vince, he probably won't let that happen, ever. Coffee said, my cousin and her husband got a 2-bedroom place in San Francisco for $5,000 a month. Yeah, no kidding.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
It kind of reminds me a few months ago, because Scorekeeper, I don't know why they did this, but they started sending us 4th of July stuff back in February. And I'm like, why am I putting this stuff out now? It's quite early for this. And one of the items was a fire pit. So that's from a fire pit that you just set up and install yourself in your backyard. And they put the price tag on it. When we open up the boxes with our box cutters, prices in the store are already set by the company. And it was for like $350. It's a real nice one. So I went around the store and I'm like, hey, look what we got today. Who wants to buy it? And everyone was like, no, you're crazy. Especially my friend Edith. She's like, boy, you better get that out of my face. I'm like, why? She's like, I can't afford that. That's my whole paycheck. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Not everyone agreed it was a nice fire pit. And somebody else came to me and they said, you can buy it. You were just handed multiple paychecks. I'm like, yeah, I was, but I can't actually do that. They're like, why? I don't have a backyard to set anything up with. That's a cool fire pit, but I can't set that up. I would love to, but... And I would also love to set up a movie screen in the backyard with a projector. But I can't do that because I live here. Even the very first time that Scorekeeper and Big Dawg came here to meet up with me so that way we could drive all the way to San Francisco for wrestling, Scorekeeper called me and goes, oh, your address. Yeah, we just passed it. I'm like, is that the one that looks? I'm like, yes, I know. It looks like a damn office building. I don't know why they built it that way. I mean, you can just tell from behind me with the setup that they've got all these little corners really truly set up like an office. I don't know. But it's awkward because, well, I'll just tell you, I mean, hell, the picture's on Facebook anyways. There's also a video about it I did years ago, where some of our apartments have bathroom doors and others like mine, right here, as a matter of fact, to my left, your right, it's just an open area that leads to the bathroom. There's no door. And my sisters were like, well, why don't we just close your bedroom door? And I'm like, you're kicking me out of my own bedroom, basically. They're like, well, yeah. So every time somebody comes over, I've got to kick myself out of my own room here and go into my living room so they can close the door behind me because there's no actual bathroom privacy. And then my other sister, she's like, well, didn't your former neighbor next door, she had curtains up in her bathroom because she didn't have a door either. I'm like, yeah, but why do you think she's not here anymore? The apartment company didn't like that. And she got issued multiple warnings, but she wasn't going to deal with the warnings, so that's why she moved out. So,
Wow.
I know, Coffee. I know. Awkwardly strange. I mean, especially if I move out of the way, you can see the carpet behind me. It doesn't even... It's basically office carpet. Again, I don't own the apartment company, so don't ask me. I would like better carpeting in here. That would be nice. A few years ago, before the pandemic, they did put nice brand new carpeting in the hallways and downstairs. They put nice, wood flooring. Of course, the wood flooring is not real, but it does look better. It's much easier to clean. But ours are just a simple white tile and crap that doesn't really come up when you spill something, so that's why I try not to spill anything on this kitchen floor. Or the bathroom floor, for that matter. And, of course, Charlotte Flair and Andrade are definitely getting married this month. Everyone is wondering, what is the big day? How did this come about? Well, Charlotte Flair and Andrade are hoping to have their wedding. Scorekeeper, I don't know why anyone would do this, but they're planning their wedding on Memorial Day.
Monday.
Some people like to barbecue, some people like to just stay home. Plus, the weather outside is horrendous. Too hot. But then again, some people would argue, well, people are already outside anyways on Memorial Day barbecuing. Flipping burgers, making hot dogs, right? Yeah, the difference with that is it's a wedding, and of course, I know from experience, and so does Scorekeeper and the rest of you, you have to dress up for weddings, which makes you, well, in my case, 10 times hotter because I get hot easy.
Yes, Speedy, you are hot.
Thank you very much for that. Well, Coffee, you'd be right if you weren't so wrong.
Well, yeah.
It was Ric Flair who introduced him to Charlotte. Andrade. Come on here, man. You know Ric Flair's voice. Have you met Charlotte? She's my daughter, by the way. And a few months go by, next thing you know, she tweets out that they're in a relationship. He tweeted out that he loves her. And now we have this relationship. And 2 years later, now they're like, I want to get married. I'm almost positive and sure that Ric Flair gave him that manly talking to. Treat my daughter with respect. If you don't, I'm going to kill you.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know about that. She's hoping it can work. I mean, if I personally knew her like I do most of the wrestlers, I might give up Memorial Day to actually go to their wedding. But I don't know.
It would be different, dude. I guess I'd go if I were invited.
Yeah. I probably would too.
It's just it's a holiday weekend, and people normally don't get married on a Monday on a holiday, but hey, it's different.
Yeah.
Good for them, I guess.
I guess so.
All right. Without being rude, we do have another program that's going to follow at 10:30, so we do need to go within the next 5 minutes. And I just want to remind everyone, this is Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks on Saturday. We are going to be wrapping it up in the next few. Ever New will be on at 10:30. Yours truly is going to be on that one. I'm going to be talking about my trip to Alaska. So if you want to join us, you're more than welcome. I'll have pictures and video.
Pictures and video.
Yep.
I might have to join that one. I might have to watch them interview you. Watch that whole thing go down. As a guest.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
I still remember that video when you posted. You're like, look at this water. Look how good this is. It's. Oh no. Oh wait. I got to stop recording. That's what I told you a few weeks ago. You left us all on a cliffhanger, and we were like, "What happened? Did he get pulled over? Did he get in trouble? What happened there?"
Oh, I think a cop did go by. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Look at him. Look at him. I got to put that one. I call bullshit. Another show doesn't matter. In 5 minutes, the Yankees start, and Roger wants to watch that. That's funny. I like that. I didn't know they were on. I really am going to be on Evernew at 10:30. So we do need to finish. That's pretty good coffee. I got to turn it on to see. Because if it's true, all right. I'll take credit for it.
Like, I call BS. You're gonna do an interview over a baseball game, and you're wearing the jersey.
Well, the King
Well,
jersey. That's funny though, because
that is funny.
Start at 1 p.m., which is 10 a.m. over here.
Yep.
And I don't know yet, so I'm going to check it out. That's hilarious. Go to my app.
He's like, I call BS.
Oh, damn. Actually, I think the game's already begun.
Oh. Well, there you go then.
Yeah, I think it's already begun. So, but close enough. That's funny, though. Yeah, the game's already on. You're funny, Coffee.
That was funny. He's like, BS. How are you going to do this and not watch your team?
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to put on MLB TV right now. See what it is. But, gentlemen, I do have to go. How are you doing, Speedy? Are we done?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Do we have any during this weekend? Any NASCAR stuff?
Well, I did announce it. Yeah, they're going to be doing the Texas All-Star. Formula One is doing Barcelona. And, of course, we have USFL Week 6, which we didn't even talk about this week, which is kind of cool. And start time in 5 minutes. Yes. All right, Coffee. Yeah, it is. All right. Well, I'm out of here, folks. I got to go. He's Speedy. I'm the Scorekeeper. I hope that everyone is doing better. The Big Dog and Almighty. Looking forward to seeing them real soon. So we'll see. So I've been in contact with Almighty during the week, but, he's busy. Man's, Cortez. He's pretty good. He is. So take us away there, Speedy.
All right, everyone. Have a great weekend. You all take care. We'll see you next week.